How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Virtual Horror Con. I am Brother Wesley with Carrion Comfort Studios, presenting to you a evening of Alien RPG Upon Her Altar, a cinematic scenario written by yours truly. I have with me some very noble and brave souls that have done a great job of supporting the COVID-19 response fund. So I wanted to thank you guys, and also on behalf of Gehenna Gaming, but also on behalf of myself as somebody that knows people that are being directly affected by this. More so, I appreciate it so much. So before we get into the nitty gritty, before I dive into what we are going to be playing tonight, presenting to you cinematically and virtually, I'd like to go around and just have everybody introduce themselves. Tell me a little bit about yourselves and who you're playing.
Guess I'll start here. Sorry, my name is Josh. Just an engineer out of Central New York. Been playing RPGs for about 2 years now. For most of that time, running games. Currently running a campaign of The Strange, which is science fiction, a little bit body horror kind of tied into there. For tonight, I'll be playing a character called Josie. Now she's a medic, sort of a woman getting a little bit older in age there, about like 5'6", give or take, not like super tall, kind of small and fit, I guess, best way to be to describe her. She's got tan skin, very straight black hair that's starting to give way into gray. That's styled up in a bit of a bun at this point. Commonly seen in sort of like a turtleneck or some light sweater and a pair of black cargo pants. She generally can be seen with a small gold crucifix that hangs around her neck. And I don't know if all the other crew members would have picked up on this, but she has a very slight tremor. You can sort of attribute it to jitters, but it might be something a little bit more. Generally, I would say she's probably pretty uptight around the crew members, but proven that she's willing to do what it takes when it comes down to it. Just a bit of note here, after the crew's previous expedition, she's determined that this will be her last job and will be going home to deal with personal affairs as soon as possible.
I'm rooting for Josie, though who knows how she's going to come out on the other end of this.
2 weeks of retirement.
This was her last day!
I'm getting too old for this.
Get off my plane!
All right, who we got next?
I'll go. Sure.
Go ahead.
Sure. All right. Hey. Hi, I'm Mike Hollywood Thomasek. Everyone knows me as Hollywood, but I'm, that's just my nickname. I'm a freelance writer, tabletop game writer and developer. I just worked on Chicago by Night and Cult of the Blood Gods for Onyx Path Publishing, and I've been playing games since I was 16 years old, so way too fucking long. It's okay that I swear on here, right?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. You can say whatever the fuck you want. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Shit. Cool. Today I will be playing Wyatt Good. Wyatt Good, he is sorry, I'm looking at my notes. A stubborn pilot who's rocks out the sunglasses and chewing gum and the skeptical looks and just really thinks that everybody should be respecting me because, of course, I'm a pilot. Where you get, you go. He, from my other notes, here you go. He's brash, he's reckless, and he's a damn good pilot. Good is always down for a good time, and that's why I got it tattooed all over my chest. And I'm all about, flying stuff, but I'm not too scared to get behind anything, really. So, that kind of thing. But I did take the blame for an accident that happened earlier, and I'm really hopeful that people don't get hurt about that. But don't worry about it. It's all right. We'll just drink good times away. All right. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Perfect. And congratulations, Mike, on Chicago by Night, by the way.
Oh, thank you so very much. Excellent. Thank you all that kickstarted it and enjoyed it and rocked it out, and I hope everyone enjoys it. And if you haven't gotten Chicago by Night, or if you're into V5, it's not just about Chicago. It's about so much more. It's about making your city yours in the world of darkness. So there you go.
Perfect. All right, who we got next?
I'll go next. So my name's Andrew. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I have been playing role-playing games since I was 9 years old, which was longer ago than I care to admit. And I will be playing Jonah Reeves. Jonah, he's basically think Sam Elliott in the movie Tombstone. He has the mustache that is a character unto itself. He typically wears kind of black jeans, white button-down shirt, rolled up sleeves with a vest over it, boots, not cowboy boots, work boots, but close enough. Every chance he gets, he's got a 357 Magnum at his hip, kind of like a security blanket of sorts. He tends to have his hand resting on that baby. He's had it with him for a long time. He is on his way to be the new sheriff at the colony where we're headed. He's a man who likes a little order in his universe. He likes to figure out the way things work and keep them working that way. And yeah, that's his deal.
Love to hear it. Love to see if old Reeves can suss out any trouble here on the old USCSS Matzinger. And
We'll see.
last but not least, who we got?
So, my name is Chase. I am calling out of Nashville, Tennessee. And so I'll be playing this evening Tomas Rasmussen. He is a Weyland-Yutani company agent and definitely has that whole deal, right? There's sort of that Ken doll, fresh out of the packaging type sort of, look, pressed suit, very sort of clean, hates being here, type attitude. But is definitely your friend for sure. Don't worry about it. But yeah.
You can always rely on your corporate overlords, especially
Absolutely.
the people that they have sending to take care of you.
We have an open door policy at Weyland-Yutani.
Yeah, it's completely transparent, So, as I said before at the top of the hour, I am Brother Wesley from Carrion Comfort Studios. I am your game mother for this evening. Game mother is just like a game master or a keeper or a storyteller. It's just I represent the vast darkness of space and the void and everything nasty that lurks within it. Mother is a two-part term as determined by Free League Publishing. It refers to Mother, the onboard AI of most ships under the Weyland-Yutani vessel. Also, a mother of other sorts, a more bug-like source. So, as we're diving into Upon Her Altar, what's the story, Mother? The year is 2145. Humanity is constantly striving to claim, create, and discover. Almost too much. These players that you see around me will be stepping into the shoes of crew and others of the USCSS Matzinger as they make their way to deliver a multitude of necessary goods along with a certain classified shipment to JPG 770, better known as the mining colony Gorham's Folly. So, what's happened recently in the lives of the crew of the USCSS Matzinger? The Matzinger is a poster child for Weyland-Yutani of sorts. It has made the highest record number of shipping flights as well as discovery and research in most recent years. The crew is a tight-knit family, but like every crew and family, it has its share of strain and tension, including the addition of a certain Jonah Reeves and Tomas Rasmussen, the company man. Recently, there's been more of a strain, though. The crew made a run of military supplies to GL-251, also known as Red Rock, to its inhabitants. That was to support the USCMC's, that is the Marine Corps' effort of cleaning out a bug infestation from some habitable planets. During that time, the Matzinger was stopped by a heavily armed UPP frigate and searched. Due to a risky maneuver from our pilot mentioned below, engineering tech Constantinos Masterson's sister, Lila Masterson, was killed. This led to the crew having to hire a Dr. Griffin Tandor, a well-regarded physicist, but a bit on the odd side. This misaction has fractured the crew, but they are still working together, hoping that those cracks can be repaired. Most recently, though, with the picking up of Jonah Reeves and Tomas Rasmussen, they are making a delivery to Gorham's Folly from Hadley's Hope, a very successful colony that is established on LV 426. They're experiencing a boom, and so they were transmitting some supplies to their sister colony far out in the middle heavens. Now that we've got that all out of the way, we're going to hear and start an alien story. Now, I have to let you all know, gentlemen, I do not like your odds, but you do have my sympathies.
Oh, I fully intend on getting just annihilated, but this is going to be great.
All right. We rise up. 2145. Nearing the end of a very long trek across the outer heavens, making its way from the outer veil all the way deep into unfound territory to Gorham's Folly. It's been a long trip. It's been about almost 14 months, and we're coming down on the last 48 hours. We pan across the cryopods of the cryosleep chamber of the USCSS Matzinger. You see numbered across it and named across each of the pods the crew, starting with Captain Sefa Bashara, tough as nail captain that's worked her way through the Weyland-Yutani ranks and all the bureaucratic bullshit to captain her own vessel. She's not only the vessel's captain, but she feels like their second mother. Next, we have our executive officer, Mia Phelps. Think of Mia Phelps as our Ripley of the story. She's always had the stars in her blood. Her father was a pilot, and his father was a captain. It only makes sense that she joined up when she could. She served alongside Captain Bashara for a long time, and recently with things how they've been with the death of Lila and the addition of 2 more people onto the crew, it's been straining at her relation. She's typically a more calm demeanor, a person that the crew can go to, especially when Captain Bashira has some fire in her blood and she's feeling kind of spiteful and hateful. Next, we pan over our charming, swashbuckling, always down for a good time pilot, Wyatt Good, almost a slight smile on his face as we pan across. Next, we see Josie Palmonos, a tender look on her face, as you've heard described. Matronly almost, but over everybody's bullshit. Next comes Security Officer Becca Wu. Becca is the very embodiment of a jarhead. You can just tell by looking at her. She has scars all over her face, a crew cut. You can see that she's got more muscles on her neck than she probably has anywhere else. She's got a smirk on her face too. She's no nonsense. She doesn't take anybody's bullshit. That's why she's security officer. Next, we go over Dr. Yuri Aslov, the assistant science officer. Always a thoughtful expression on his face, especially now. Yuri is known to kind of ponder the different effects of the universe. Next to him, Konstantinos Masterson. He's exactly what you would expect as a roughneck. As an engineering tech and a loader, he's blue collar as it gets. Always has 5 o'clock shadow on his face. He's got a cigar resting gently on his chest, ready to be put in his mouth as soon as he hops out of cryo. And he's wearing his favorite cap, too. Couldn't convince him to take it off for nothing. Next, we have our navigation officer, Kadira Bishara. She's the wife to the captain, but that's not why she's on the vessel. She's one of the best damn navigators. She can hop across the middle heavens faster than that, and she can find you the quickest way in only one stop. She always has good nature, and she's a very big fan of old school baseball. And I'm talking old school, about 100 years old. She's always got a baseball cap by her side and a stick of gum in her pocket. Next to her, with a very dour look on his face, Dr. Griffin Tandoor, the newest member of the crew. And to be honest, most of them would agree he's a bit of a dick. He was transferred from his scientific duties on Hadley's Hope to replace Chief Science Officer Lila Masterson upon her death, and he wasn't happy about it. And I guess if you ask the rest of the crew, they're not happy about it either. And our most recent additions, next to them, newly minted Sheriff of Gorham's Folly, Jonah Reeves. Mustache across his lip, wind in his hair even when he's in cryo, ready to take a look and a bite out of crime at a moment's notice. And right next to him, looking almost fed up that they're here. They'd rather be anywhere else than in this cryopod. Tomas Rasmussen, company man for Wayland Yutani. The lights start to softly come up in the cryo chamber. You start hearing whirrings and beeps as Mother starts going through the routine cryo process. The pods slowly open up, pressurized hisses coming from each of them, all in synchronization. You see a little fleck of mist come from each of the pods. Everybody starts to strain, kind of maneuver a little bit. Feel like you've been asleep for a year. Hell, you've been asleep for a year. A almost cybernetic, almost like a speak and spell voice comes over a speaker. Good morning, Matzinger crew. Welcome to the last 48 hours of your trip. Gorham's Folly approaching. Captain Bashira steps out. No nonsense, ready to go. You can hear her go, "Attention, crew, and our lovely passengers. For the last 48 hours of this trip, get dressed, get to mess, get fed, and let's get ready. We're going to land this puppy on this rock, and we're going to get this unloaded record time. Do I hear it?" You hear some mumbling amongst the crew. Some of them are a little bit more excited a little bit.
Whatever. All right. Yeah.
That's whatever, Captain, to you, Wyatt.
All right.
Damn it, that ain't no way to wake up.
Ain't never a good way to wake.
Oh, I need to find me a pack of cigarettes and a cup of coffee. Where can I go for that?
You see Kadira, the navigation officer, turn and look to you and go, mess like always. Just head right on down the hall, down the stairs. You can't miss it.
All right.
Come on, let's go get a smoke going. Come on.
As you guys start moving about, Tomas, Konstantinos, the roughneck, bumps into your shoulder a little bit and kind of looks at you a little bit and just puts the cigar in his mouth and goes, "I've got first dibs on shower, Rook." And then just steals off and immediately, almost don't know where he put it or where he got it from, pulls a flask out of the back of his boxers, scratches his ass, and then takes a swig from it and starts making his way towards his bunk.
I always like that guy.
That's a man that's got a good idea.
Yep.
Tomas to himself, everyone on this fucking crew is so rude. Can't stand it. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you all.
You feel an arm get around your neck, Tomas, as Becca Wu, the security officer, goes, "Oh, everyone's so rude. Oh, it must be your first trip on a spaceship there, company man."
I did have to get out to Gorham's Folly, but I don't really have a lot of experience. Except I feel like you're being sarcastic. Are you being sarcastic right now?
She pops you on the cheek a couple of times. She goes, "Looks like you got a little bit of stubble growing up there. You might want to get yourself a close shave." And then she flicks her nose at you and then starts walking towards her bunk. The only one that's being really quiet is Executive Officer Phelps, as she's just kind of like neatly goes to the locker that's beside the cryopod, gets dressed, gets ready, zips up her flight suit, makes sure that everything's hooked on. She kind of gives a mournful look at Wyatt, and then a slight smile, and then she starts making her way towards mess to grab some coffee. All right, as you guys start getting ready, you all kind of pile down. Imagine the galley of the Nostromo, that iconic scene from Alien. Table, center light overhead. It's got bench seating around it, different cabinets around for what you would probably expect. Sometimes the crew, when they touch down, they get paid well enough. Kadira goes ahead and makes them a great meal. No such luck today. It's bug juice and protein bars. As you start to file in, you see Josie. Yuri walks over to you, hands you a bug juice and a protein bar, and goes, "It's important for you to get your nutrients and your protein as just coming out of the cryosleep, especially in your age there."
So you see Josie's face, usually a little stern, kind of softened, a bit of a smirk. Goes, you know I know that.
It's always good to hear it yourself. Sometimes you forget, especially someone who works as hard as you. Um, Almost moving like a ghost behind everybody as you're all chatting up, lighting cigarettes, cigars, grabbing a couple drinks from like your standard issue alcohol. You've got Dr. Griffin Tandor that kind of comes in, stern face, moving with like he's already fully dressed. He's got his suit and everything buttoned all the way up to his neck, bald head, kind of a sharp griffin-like nose, and just kind of goes, grabs a bug juice, grabs a protein bar, turns, looks at you all, regards you almost with contempt, but also you couldn't even tell because his face looks like that all the time. And he goes, "I'll be in my quarters," and just turns and immediately walks to the science lab.
Bye.
That there's a friendly fella, ain't he?
As you guys all say bye to him, start carousing a little bit. Captain Bashira walks in from the bridge, already a cigarette in her mouth. She kind of has a swagger to her walk. She goes, "All right, we're about 48 hours away from JPG 770, also known as Gorham's Folly. Everybody getting in there good. Get your nutrients, get your protein. We gotta get started. Gotta get everything made sure it's tied down and everything. You hear me? You hear me, Masterson? I want to make sure everything's tied down. I don't want that big old crate smashing around all my canned goods when we hit planetfall. All right?"
Please be here with the the crate. It's very important you're careful with the crate.
Yes, Mr. Rasmussen. We will make sure that the crate is secure.
Thank you. He goes back to his juice.
So, what's in the crate? You know?
Do you think if I knew what was in the crate, I would tell you?
I don't know. I mean, like, it's just, what's in the crate? I just
It's company business. I would appreciate if you stopped asking about the crate.
All right. Yeah, it's fine.
As you guys go on, you get your bug juice, you get your protein going, get dressed, get showered. Where are you guys going? You guys kind of have your duties laid out. I know, Jonah, you don't really have any duties most part. You're just a passenger, but I know that you helped out Masterson a couple of times, making sure stuff was tied down, just helping out where you can. I'm imagining, Rasmussen, you're like, okay, I'm just a passenger. I'm just relaxing.
Here.
Yeah, just here. Wyatt, you know exactly where you're supposed to be.
Oh, of course. Yeah. No, I'm like gonna go through the routines, make sure everything's good to go, make sure that the ship is ready to go, and start heading out to the Folly.
All right, so we get to our first roll of the game. I want to see how everybody gets out of cryo sleep. Now, Josie, I know you've got a lot of stuff that you have to do. You've got to go over people's vital signs. You've got to see how people handled in sleep. That's data that Wayland Yutani really needs, because they really need to know if there's any adjustments they need to make to their travel or anything like that. They're probably not going to, because it's bureaucratic company bullshit, but they always ask for that information. So I'm going to have each of you roll an associated roll, except for Tomas here. I'm going to let you pick from your skill sheets which one you think is most applicable, and let's see how you guys do. And also, Tomas, if there's anything you need to do, if you want to go check on the crate, or if you want to do anything, just let me know.
So you think something like stamina to resist like the effects of the cryosleep that we were looking at?
Yeah, you can do that if that's what you're more focused on. I just want to get like a nice roll off just to see how everybody's doing, how we handle these next couple of hours here heading into Gorham's.
Yeah, I'll definitely check on the crate, make sure it hasn't shifted since we've been asleep for a while.
Excellent. Okay, so let me get a piloting roll from Wyatt. Let me get a stamina or medical aid check from Josie. Jonah, how are you helping out? You gonna go help out in the bridge, or are you gonna go relax? What are you doing?
I think I'm gonna go help. Like you said, I've been helping out Constantos. Is that his name?
Constantanos.
Constantinos. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna go with him. I'm gonna help him sort of batten down the hatches and manual labor kind of stuff.
Perfect. So let's go ahead and get a let's see. Let's go ahead and get an observation check from Rasmussen, and let's get a heavy machinery roll from you, Jonah.
All right.
All right, so for the medical aid roll, I got 3 6s.
3 6s?
Out of that, yeah.
All right, yeah. So, in Alien RPG, I'm just gonna kind of let our audience know in on everything, and also Mike down below me here. So, what you do is you develop a dice pool. So, I have 2 colored dice here. You have your standard pool here, which my hand is being all futzy and everything like that because of a green screen. But you form a dice pool combining your attributes and your skill total. With the associated skill total, and you roll that. If you get at least 1 6, it's considered a success. If you get no 6s, it's a failure. If you get more than 1 6, well, then you have the opportunity to perform a stunt, which could be, in Wyatt's case, if you get more than 1 6, you can show off a little bit, or you can get a +1 to a future piloting check. With medical aid here, let me go ahead and check over here. It's typically recovery or save a life. If you get, since you got 3 6s, I'm going to give you, go ahead and take a note. You get a +1 on your next medical aid check.
Okay.
Here.
I also figured if I get out of the cryo sleep pretty quickly, assuming that she's been at this for a while, I would start going around and just like double check in everybody to make sure, with a little bit more particular attention to new crew members here.
Yeah.
Those who are just joining us who might not be in
Rasmussen wears you off.
And Josie, this is old hat to you.
Don't touch me.
She's moving like faster than anybody. She's like twice some of y'all's age, and she's like booking it, getting around. She's like sliding down the stair, the ladder, all this stuff like that. She's moving like she's 20 years old. What did you get on your check here, Reeves?
1 6.
1 6, yeah. So basic, easy check. There's no loader. But Masterson, he's just same old hat, just making sure everything's tied down, make sure it's tight as can be, making sure that things haven't maneuvered or moved around a little bit, just in case Mother made some risky maneuvers to avoid any kind of like space debris or anything like that. You go through, Constantinos helps you real quick. He's a little bit warmer, what you might have been observing, he's a little bit warmer to you than he is to some of the other people in the crew. I'd even go as far to say that you could tell that this guy has been broken somehow. You might have picked up some of the information that his sister just passed away recently. And so, like, you can definitely see that in him. He's hurting a little bit. But he opens up a little bit with you. He sees a fellow, like a kindred soul, and somebody that grew up boots on the ground, you know, in the shit of just, like, being a workhorse for a while.
Yeah, I'll give him one of my cigarettes, and I'll give him a slug from my flask I have on me, and I'll say, sometimes, man, a good day's work is all you need to get your head on straight.
He kind of smiles a little bit slightly to the side, and he thinks about it for a little bit, and he goes, "You're not bad, Reeves. You're not bad. Kind of wish you wouldn't be a fucking sheriff and you'd work alongside me here on this hunk of junk. Hells no, we could use some reliable folks like you."
Well, I appreciate you saying that, but you know, I think them folks at Gorham's Holly gonna need a little help, and feel like I'm the man to do it.
I respect it. Man of his craft. And he kind of like shakes his head, rubs the back of his neck a little bit, and he goes, "All right, let's get at it."
All right, let's do it.
Wyatt, what'd you get on your roll here?
So I got 2 6s for my piloting roll.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be, I'm just going to, with ease, get this ship going. Get it real, smooth as silk, getting everything just going. So make it so as easy as possible, especially due to the fact that we had that accident. So I just want to make everything just real good. Just easy going.
Wyatt, you slip into that middle seat there, and then Kadira is on your heels. She's kind of made it her mission to see if she can get up like navigation and everything like that, charts plotted and everything like that before you can even get on the stick. But like always, you're a little bit faster, you're a little bit quicker, and all of you around can kind of feel the hum of the engine come to life from its dormant state. And is there anything you want to say? I mean, you got a extra success. You want to show off a little bit there, Wyatt?
Yeah, sure. So I'm just gonna because of the accident, I don't want to do anything too crazy. But I mean, just give it a little kick to make sure everybody knows who's in charge around here. That kind of thing.
Each of you are off doing your duties. It's a perfect time to segue over to Rasmussen, as you're each kind of focusing on your duties, getting into the swing of things and everything like that. You all feel a little bit of a jerk. What did you get on your roll there, Rasmussen?
So y'all are lucky I'm not doing anything important because I got no 6s and I actually got 2 1s.
So
Oh yeah,
you're in luck. You are in luck there, Rasmussen, because since you're not stressed or anything, and it wasn't on a stress dice, you don't go into a panic or anything like that. But I will say, because you got 2 1s, you're not used to being on a ship. You're used to being in a boardroom. You're used to talking shop. You're used to having a power suit, power tie, power pen, taking charge. You are not taking charge in this moment. As you're starting to make your way to Cargo Bay 2, you just get slammed into the side of the wall, and you almost hit your head up against the wall, and it jars you for a little bit, and you can just kind of hear over the intercom, over the speakers.
A damn pilot is going to get me killed.
As you're going through, you make your way to Cargo Bay 2. You see Masterson has kind of made his way around. Reeves, he's got you in another Cargo Bay, in Cargo Bay 3, kind of checking on things. He trusts you now at this point in the trip. You go and you take a look over, and you said you no successes?
No.
Okay, so you kind of take a look over this, and I kind of want to take some time to describe this cargo, this bit of freight that you've got. In the Cargo Bay, you see there are boxes labeled first aid, medicine, food, clothing, what have you, machinery, fragile, this side up. All these different things that you would see in a normal cargo bay holder. You see a loader, the yellow mech kind of frame of a loader that's not being used currently because they're not offloading anything. And you just see it. The lights almost seem to focus in the cargo bay, in the very middle of this cargo bay, of a 6 foot by 8 foot. So it's a 6 foot dimension wide crate by 8 foot tall crate. It's about the size of your basic your basic bedroom. This crate that has magna locks on the bottom to keep it sealed. It has straps holding it down, and then it also has tape around it. You know it. You put the tape there yourself. They made sure that you did, or it was your ass if that tape wasn't on the seams. The seams of the box. It seems that it's pressurized almost, so the sides fall out once they depressurize, but they have the seams of the seams of this crate with a red tape that says "Do not break." Punishable. It says punishable by fine, and then on the sides of this box, you see in the big W with the Y, the yellow, you see Weyland-Yutani Corporation property, classified. Do not open, do not tamper on each side. And it's got it in not just English, it's got it in Japanese, it's got it in Chinese, it has it in Russian, it has it in Spanish, it has it in every single language that you could think of somebody that would be working for Weyland-Yutani or otherwise. Do not open, do not tamper, classified. You kind of look at it, and if you haven't been so used to it, it would probably give you some unease. Like if you or me walking into this room, it would kind of send a shiver down your spine. All these other crates look normal. They look like they belong here, but this one just looks almost like a prison sitting in it. But as you look over it, from what you can tell, everything looks okay.
Everything looks fine. That's I'm happy with that result.
Yep. So, by the way, I just want to double check with everybody. Are we good on the stream side here? Everything running well, I believe. It looks good on my end. Just want to double check. All right. So, as you guys go about the rest of your duties, it doesn't take too long. I mean, Mother takes care of most of it. Getting towards lunchtime, that's when Kadira kind of leaves you to the bridge there, Wyatt. She's gonna go and see if she can grab some ingredients and kind of make like a hobo stew or something, whatever's left over.
Yeah.
She has
I got it.
Yeah, she has the habit of going all out at the end of a trip and the beginning of a new trip. But like that kind of intermediate area when she has time to cook, she's like, shit, I've got noodles, a tomato, and like beef jerky. What am I gonna make out of this? So she goes. She wants to make sure you guys get some dinner and everything in you. So she goes off by her lonesome. You guys have the whole ship to yourself. So what are you guys doing? What do you got? Like, I'm giving you a little bit of free time here before you guys have to go to mess.
So was there anybody that was adversely affected by the sleep or anything?
So after checking your statistics a little bit, you can tell that Constantinos Masterson, his blood pressure's high. And it's not from the smoking and the drinking. His blood pressure, he's been stressed ever since Lila died, but the cryo sleep combined on top of that, he's feeling a little bit stressed. Also on top of that, Dr. Tandoor, his vitals, he looks like he's a little bit cold. He's running colder than usual. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything too completely out of the normal, but you probably need to give him a checkup. I'd also say that Tomas has a perfect bill of health.
Okay.
Completely perfect. Like for his age, height, weight, perfect body mass index, perfect temperature, like the peak of human like capability. Apparently.
So I'm kind of reading that chart and see that and just like roll my eyes a little bit. Of course.
Yeah.
Hasn't changed.
Yeah, I do want to probably calm the Masterson. See if I can get him down to the medical bay there. Give him like blood pressure med or whatever the alien equivalent of that is. Just ask around to see if he's feeling okay, if he notices it or anything like that.
Yeah, so you're in med bay, and I imagine it's imagine it from Alien. It's perfectly stark white. You got that table laid out. You've also got the its own cryopod within it. That if somebody that was feeling like sick or they needed like a special kind of like attention to their cryo chamber, they could go inside of it and it would keep them sustained for a little bit. You hear Reeves as you've kind of come back together in Cargo Bay 4, and you and Masterson are working on separate crates or whatever, and he's kind of like, he's cranking the, making sure the straps, making sure they're tied down tight, and you hear Mother come over the intercom. Engineer, Tech, Masterson, to Med Bay. And then you, like, see him just, like, kind of shake his head a little bit and keep working a little bit. About 2 minutes go by. You hear it again. Calling Engineering Tech Masterson to Med Bay. And he just goes, fucking hell! And just, like, tosses, like his handkerchief, his like, do-rag. And then just, like, kind of rubs his forehead, takes his cap off, rubs his forehead a little bit. And he's like, you've got this, Reeves?
Yeah, I can take care of it. You feeling all right, buddy?
I feel fine. I feel fucking fine. And he starts stomping. You can hear his boots. He kind of gets like his flight suit tied up around his waist. And he goes to start stomping towards Med Bay, and he stops and he goes, motherfucker. And just goes and picks up his do-rag and puts it in his pocket and heads his way. It's not too long before, Josie, you hear the telltale boot stomps of Constantinos. And before the door can slide completely open to the med bay, he's in the med bay, and he's like, Jose, what the fuck do you want? How can I help you?
So Josie's doing the classic back to the door thing with one of those little like revolving chairs, and does the spin and goes, please sit down.
I don't have fucking time for this shit. I've got a full cargo bay that needs to be strapped down, or I'm gonna have some fucking canned goods up to my dick all around us when we're just trying to settle down on planet. I don't have time. I'm fine. And then he sits down and like a huff, just like.
So Josie goes, her face gets really stern and goes, you will hear what I have to say here, Or we'll let the captain know and we'll dock your pay.
Go ahead and make me a... Let's go with empathy roll. And let's do command on top of that.
And empathy. Okay.
Also, by the way, I just want to say, Free League, if they ever watch this or anything like that, I like that it's called empathy and not charisma, because it kind of ties in some good stuff with like insight and wisdom and like charisma and stuff like that. Empathy. I never thought to think of it, call it by that, but it works.
All right, I got nothing out of that.
You got nothing?
Nope, no sixes.
He looks at you, and you can always, I want to let you know another mechanic. If you ever want to, you can do what's called pushing a roll. You can, if you want to, you will add a stress dice to your dice pool, but you can re-roll every single dice that you don't get a 6 on if you want to. But it will add a stress point to you.
You know what? I'm actually going to do that because I imagine that Josie would be feeling pretty stressed in this situation.
Yeah.
It'd be more of like an annoyance thing rather than an external.
You're ready to come at him like a medic, and he came in hot, flying off the handle.
That pushing the roll resulted in 2 sixes.
2 sixes. All right. So you got a stress point added to you.
Yep.
But 2 successes here. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and call the stunt that you pull is give orders. What do you say to him as soon as you you whip into the shape where he when you first say, "Hey, I need you to calm down. I gotta talk to you," and then he looks like he's about to fly off at you one more time. What do you say to him real quick? Just snap him out of it.
So Josie kind of goes, so I can roll anybody unfit for duty in this ship. And then she kind of pulls up her data pad or whatever the equivalent is.
It would be like a data pad that's on an arm that's around it, like that kind of like carries around, so you could like kind of move it around to you all around the med bay.
Yeah, okay, so she would have that arm there and kind of like flips it out towards Masterson there. And goes, something's a little up with your science on the test there. We're going to do a full body scan. Have you sit in that bed for a minute there. And I'm going to submit to you for a psych evaluation on by the time we land before the next mission.
He like looks like he's about to give you the goods, and then he just kind of like, Joes, you don't deserve that. I apologize. I kind of flew off the handle there. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, I got shit I gotta do, but if we can get this out of the way, then if it's gonna affect anything, then fuck, okay. And
if there's nothing wrong, if my initial scans were incorrect, you'll be out of here in less than 5 minutes.
So yeah, he goes ahead and he like shakes his head and he just like kind of like sits on the bed, swings his feet over, lays down. Go ahead and give me a
Make like a medical aid check.
Yeah. Let's go with wits and medical aid here, real quick.
Okay, and then I add the stress die to this always.
You add the stress die to that always, and remember you have a +1 if you choose to use it.
Right.
As well.
I will do that just so I don't have to remember that I have a +1.
Perfect.
That was a wash.
That was a wash.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Once you get a second look over them, go through it and everything like that. You can tell that like your previous, like it was previously correct. It was like he is stressed, but you know why he's stressed. You know why he's drinking more. You know why he's smoking more. You know why he's being a brat to everybody, and it's within reason. We're gonna go ahead and shift from that to Wyatt. Wyatt, you're sitting in your cockpit.
Yeah, I'm just smoking a cigarette, having a drink. Kind of just like, just chilling out. I'm just making sure that everything's like okay. Like I don't, because I'm already catching heat from the accident. I want to I want to double, triple check my routines. I want to like all that shit. And like, and then of course, like if I got any abilities to check everybody out in the crew and make sure like just it like on like any video streams or anything like that, just make sure everyone's okay. Like that kind of thing.
yeah, you're kind of flipping through, you're doing all this stuff like that, and you kind of feel somebody standing behind you. Um, it's a presence. You felt that presence standing behind you too. They stand behind you often. Captain Bashara is standing right behind you. Um, and Sefa kind of like, you hear her go, and she kind of like walks to the side and leans on the cockpit and lights her own cigarette. And she goes, Wyatt, you don't have to do it all that. You don't have to do it so many times. Everybody's fine. Everybody's doing their duties.
I just listen. I don't. I don't want to make any problems anymore. I mean, you know, it was already hard enough losing somebody. I don't want to make any bads, you know. And it's horror on my conscience, you know. That's all. That's all.
She like takes off her glasses and just kind of like rubs her eyes, and she goes, "Look, you're a good pilot, and you can be obnoxious as shit, but you're an even better human. If there's something wrong with you or anything like that, you wouldn't be double checking. You wouldn't be doubling down. Everybody sees it. You don't have to beat yourself up over it. There's a freak accident. It happens, especially out here. If it wasn't going to be Lila, it was going to be one of us. It could have been yourself."
Yeah, I know. Just, you know, it's just hard, you know, one of those things. And, you know, it tears people up. So, you know, and you know, you can't go wrong. This is the best seat in the house. What, you know, I sit, drink, make sure everything's good, you know? So.
Exactly. You got that big old window full of nothing out there that you can just look at. So why don't you just enjoy the view, okay?
All right. Thanks, Cap. Thanks.
All right. I'm going to go check on Mess. She turns and she walks on out. And when she walks out, almost like a movie scene, she walks out and you see behind her, you see Executive Officer Phelps just kind of look at you, kind of do that like straight line across her face. And she just mouths thanks to you. And then goes back to checking out life support and everything.
Yeah, I just kind of do the hand wave and just drag off that cigarette and just stare and just like, I just got to make sure everybody gets here safe. I just got to make sure everybody gets there safe.
Exactly. Crunch on over to Rasmussen and Reeves. Reeves, you're walking. You've got everything tied down. Masterson's been away for a little bit, so you're walking through cargo bay 2. Rasmussen, are you still in the cargo bay, taking like looking over the monolith of the crate?
Yeah, it's a fairly big crate, so I think if he's kind of wandering my way, I'm just getting wrapped up and sort of kind of glance over, ignore him.
Yeah, you like glance over real quick and you see the sheriff. Definitely somebody that you wouldn't talk to. If Masterson wasn't somebody you talk to, double down on this guy. And
wait, that's quite a thing you're looking at there. Looks important.
So glad that you could join me, as I am just getting wrapped up making sure that this very important thing, which I want to make very clear, I don't know if I've had the chance to make this clear, is more important than you. So, in terms of the hierarchy of the ship, there's the crate, there's me, there's the rest of the ship, and then there's you.
Right,
Goes back to checking on the crate.
I see. I'm just going to gently knock against the side of the crate real quick. Just knock with my hand. Is it hollow? I wonder if there's anything in there.
When you knock on it, it does make like a ton. Like there is something in there, but there's some empty space in there too.
Well, I think you underpacked this very large and important thing, it would seem.
Well, first of all, I didn't pack it. I'm just responsible for it.
Oh, well, it's so important, I figured you must have packed it yourself.
I don't have to do things like that. I don't get paid to do that. I get paid to be in charge of it. You wouldn't understand the distinction.
No, being a humble sheriff in charge of an entire colony's security, I would never understand such a thing. You are very right, sir.
People, also, if you'll notice, in many languages it says "do not tamper." So I would not maybe tap on again the most important thing in the ship.
Well, this may surprise you, but I only speak one language. But I did read that. I could tell.
Well, this has been lovely, but I believe I will be going to check on the bridge crew now at this point. So I would hope you would make yourself useful.
Sure. Well, hey, if you like poker, I'm heading to the mess. Becca usually comes in, and Masterson. We play a little poker. You're always welcome. We play for toothpicks.
I will consider it if I ever find myself with absolutely nothing to do.
Oh, space is like that. There's a lot of nothing to do. But I'll see you later, and I'll start walking off.
As you start walking off, and Rasmussen, I'm assuming you're walking off too, but actively finding a different direction. There's multiple ways to go there. You're going to take the long way around just so you don't have to walk around inside this cowboy here.
Absolutely.
Reeves, as you're walking out, you see Dr. Griffin Tandor almost watching like a vulture that whole thing that went down. And he's standing straight back, and he's got a data pad in his hand. And he goes, "Cowboy,
Yeah.
like what you saw in there?"
The box? I mean, it's a great box, sure.
"I'm sure it's filled with something very important, too." And he, like, steps forward past you, just brushes you off a little bit. And if you look behind you as you're walking away, just like one more glancing look, he's just kind of standing and staring at the box.
Can I, is there any skill to sort of read this guy?
Yeah, man, let's see here. I can go ahead and, because we're going to go ahead and do an observation and empathy roll here. Instead of observation and wits, let's do observation and empathy.
Sure. I got nothing.
Nothing? Look,
No.
Good rolls.
there's some things that you could read into about a person, and there's some things that they just wear on the outside, and that's one creepy motherfucker, and that's the only thing that you're getting from it.
All right.
Make your way to mess.
Yep.
We're going to fast forward a little bit through time here. You guys go ahead. Kadira makes something somehow out of some eggplant that she found in the back of the cooler, and she made some like eggplant parm somehow. It's fake cheese, it's fake tomato sauce. The eggplants are real though, but she makes some grilled eggplant parm, and you all kind of gather over, everybody kind of in their own roles, kind of huddling with each other, and smoking. Game of poker starts out. It's a good evening. It's been kind of refreshing after everything. Josie, Masterson kind of like looks up a little bit from his poker hand when you're like walking by to like drop off your plate and stuff like that, your utensils and everything like that. Kind of stops you and he goes, "Hey, Jose, apologies for earlier and thank you."
She kind of waves her hand. Yep, forget about it.
And he goes, "All right, shit, next hand." And turns, gets back into the game. If each of you would give me a wits and observation roll here real quick.
Two sixes.
Nice.
It's my forte.
I got a wash.
Got a wash?
2 sixes.
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. All right. So those with 2 sixes. I'm going to go ahead and just let you know. Other two, you're kind of caught up in what you're doing, everything like that. But for our 2 sixes, not only am I going to tell you a little bit more information, but as soon as I tell you, ask a question about it. Any question you want, because that's what you get with your extra 6 there. So as you're all kind of like focusing on like your kind of own stuff, you're going through the motions, getting ready to bed down for the night. It's your first night's sleep, not in cryo sleep in a long time. So you get to enjoy it. You get to put on some blankets, enjoy a pillow, have a cigarette in bed, do some reading, tuck in for the night. You two notice Dr. Tandor after dinner kind of get up directly and touch the captain on the back of the shoulder, and then nod curtly to walk over to like a kind of shadowed area away from everybody, and is kind of like talking a little bit like hushed, but it's hushed so that like, but it's like stage whispering almost, like it seems like whatever Tandor's telling her is pretty serious. So, from the two of you, what do you want to get from that? You can ask any question about what you just saw.
And I get close enough to catch snatches of it.
Yeah. So, you don't get the full conversation, but you do catch, research is a word. Very important that you. So you hear like blah 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 research blah blah blah. Very important that you blah 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 crate blah 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 blah. Don't trust them.
Okay. I'm not going to do anything yet.
Mm-hmm. All right, and Reeves.
Let's see. What about can you tell me anything about the captain's attitude when that conversation ends?
So, I'll even give you the whole attitude, the whole spectrum of emotions. It starts off with annoyance, because she's trying to enjoy her evening, especially with her wife. And then a serious look of, like, concern. There's a point where Tandor touches the crook of her arm, and she jerks away a little bit, and then she like takes a deep breath, and by the end you see she's shaking her head, and she looks like annoyed, but also like a willingness to accept what she's hearing. And then he like kind of like curtly like nods, and then turns and heads to his quarters.
All right.
As you guys are bedding down for the night, you guys kind of go through rescue duties for the most part. Wyatt, you can kind of trust the stick for a little bit while you sleep. It's up to you if you want to go to sleep or not, how you want to handle things.
I mean, I'll probably like, because I'm up smoking and drinking, like I'll probably like mosey on over there and do like one more logistics run.
Okay.
And just check it and like just make sure, and like I'm assuming it's perfect.
Oh yeah. Everything has been double checked, triple checked. As you go in, you're kind of looking over everything. You hear a knock on the bridge, the frame that goes into the bridge.
I'll turn around, like, you know,
yeah,
drinking cigarettes. Hey, what up?
You see Mia Phelps, Executive Officer Mia Phelps. She's got her flight suit on. For the first time, like when she gets off duty, she kind of like unzips it, ties it around her waist. Her hair's still tied up in a bun. Kind of a serious look on her, and she just looks at you and she goes, "I didn't want to bother you or anything."
No, don't even worry about it. I get it. You know, it's fine. Everything. I'm just making sure everything's good before sleep. Yeah.
Look, I wanted to talk about that, and she sits down in the captain's chair, and she looks like she's trying to relax at first, and then she feels silly, and then so she kind of does like the focused like sit forward, like elbows on the armrests and like hands clasped together, and she's like, look, you know, and I know, you shouldn't be beating yourself up over this.
Listen, I know, but it's the least I can do to. I mean, I got to make sure everything's just. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's just a nervous habit for me. It's a thing I got to do. You know, if I'm gonna be this good about what I do, then I gotta do it. So
Wyatt, cut the shit. Okay, I know. You know, everybody on this damn ship knows. Everybody that's been on this damn ship knows that you're the best pilot that we've ever had. And you know for a fact that what happened to Lila wasn't your call. That's on me. That's the call that I made.
And I took that hit for you. You are a good person too, and it's it's not worth it for you to get in trouble about it. So I'm just gonna just do this so that it's a good cover for both of us, and that it's just, if anything, it makes me better at what I do. Just let me go through the process. I know that it's bugging the hell out of you, but it's something that until we can get to Folly that we can do. Make sure that everybody knows that everything's good, and we'll just go from there.
Okay. I'm gonna respect your space. Everybody's got to grieve their own way. Just don't beat yourself up about it, because it's on me.
No, I know it's not. I know it's not my fault. I know that it's just that I want to make sure that we've already gone through so much. We don't need to go through more. Let people grieve it out. Let people get it out of them, and we'll just go from there.
Got it. Okay. Roger that.
Cool. Roger.
Make sure you get plenty of sleep. Don't stay up with this thing, okay?
No, I won't. You know how I am. I'll eventually drink myself into a stupor, and then we'll be good.
Just keep whatever music you listen to down to a dull roar, okay?
Yeah.
And then she kind of does, like, almost like it's habit to her to, like, straighten up, and she almost goes for a salute, and then she's like, whatever. And she nods, turns around, and heads out.
Cool.
Tomas.
Yes.
So part of your duties, every time you bed down for a night and stuff like that, they've requested you to check in.
Okay.
The captain knows that you are to have access to Mother's room, which, if you have watched Alien before, that's the scene where, Tom Skerritt, he's in that room with all the lights, and they're looking at the computer screen. They want you to check in every time you're conscious at the end of the day. Make sure everything's good. So you make your way there. You pass by Aslov, Dr. Yuri Aslov, and he kind of moves out of the way, and he goes, one moment, please. Mr. Rasmussen.
I look annoyed, but stop.
I just wanted to run something by you real quick, since you are such a professional man.
Right.
I have been with company for a certain amount of years. I have been on this crew for as many years. This is my original post. I have stayed here.
If this is an HR issue, you really need to reach out to them, because that's not really what I do.
Of course, I understand. I was just wondering if you could perhaps, at the end of the trip, look over the spectrum of my readouts, my research, everything like that, and if you could compare it to a Dr. Tandor's. I believe that he was unfairly given his position, especially since I am so closely tied with his crew. I believe that they deserve to have someone they can rely on and trust to be in a position of authority when it comes to scientific matters.
So you don't necessarily trust the doctor?
There is a certain saying back where I come from that goes, the old broken ox that you know is much more useful to you than new healthy ox. In this case, I do not prefer to refer to myself as an old broken ox, but I am reliable. I am accountable, and people can count on me. Dr. Tandor is new ox. He does not know ways. He has no habits. And as you can tell, I'm sure you have noticed, he does not make connection with any of the crew. I believe that to have a functional ship, that we should have somebody that we can rely on and trust to be in a position of authority. All due respect to Dr. Tandor and his research.
All right. Well, I mean, like I said, I don't do HR issues, but you have been probably the least rude person to me on this trip, so I'll take a look at it, if that would make you feel better.
I would be very gracious, sir. I apologize for stopping you, and have a good evening's rest and whatever have you. He nods.
Walk away.
Yeah, nods, and like you can kind of feel him behind you a little bit, but then you hear him walk away too as you walk into the chamber. Like described before, it's filled with
I did want to check in with the captain real quick.
For sure, yeah, you can go ahead. We'll have you go ahead and move to the captain's quarters first. It's nearby the machine where Mother is kept. So you see that she is. You like go and knock on the door, and you hear a come in.
In.
Yeah. Door.
Hello, Captain. So good to see you this evening.
As you turn and you see that the door to their like bathroom quarters is closed. There's a light on underneath it, and you see that the captain is writing at a desk, just typing away at a personal computer. Looks up. Oh, Mr. Rasmussen, how can I help you?
How's the body language?
She is a little bit perturbed that she's bothering her quarters, but you're well and Utani employee. She's gonna oblige you.
Well, Captain, I was just on my way to check in with the Mother, and I wanted to speak with you first because if you had anything to pass on to HQ, anything of interest, I didn't get a chance to speak with you earlier about making sure everything is nominal, let's say.
Of course, yeah. I was just going over my private report to send into headquarters as well. We had a little bit of a cloud burst happening on the starboard side. Nothing that took us off course or anything. Mother was able to course correct very quickly. It was very minimal damaging to the outer hull, something that'll be fixed. Only should take about a day. For everything happening inside the unit being the Matzinger here, everything seems to be shipshape, up top and personal. If there's anything going on, please let me know personally with the crew. But so far, I've seen everything be without its bumps and hitches, as all crews has it, on top of everything. As it does come a little bit to the container, and you know which one I'm speaking of, it seems that it shifted a bit during the past. But what's interesting coming from the readings, I don't know if you know this, but on every stabilization platform that cargo is located in the hull of this, it has its own series of readings on it, and it seems that it shifted, but there was no outside force shifting it. Is there anything you could tell me about that? It seemed like something had moved it from the inside.
Well, I'm afraid I have fairly limited information about the crate because it's a fairly high security clearance above my pay grade, you see. But I am very interested to see. So this is standard that you inspect all the cargo like this, or was there extra scrutiny on my crate?
She kind of smiles and takes off her glasses and just kind of sets them down. She goes, "Look, Mr. Rasmussen, I'm certain you don't understand how things function on a starship. No. I'm not faulting you for it. You're more comfortable probably on a tennis court somewhere, sipping Mai Tais. I'm going to be blunt with you real quick. That is company property. It has been classified. It's been deemed not to tamper with, but it is on my ship. And if it's on my ship, and I didn't put it on my ship, and somebody above me put it on my ship, I have every right to know what's going on with it, within reason. I'm not going to open it. I'm not going to tamper with it. But if it shifts, if there's something in there that I need to know about that it's dangerous, I hope you would let me know."
Oh, I would be happy to share what information that I have with you. However, in this case, I have none to share.
Well, if you have no information to give, and I have none to receive, I guess we can count this meeting as adjourned, and you can go make your report now.
Yes, I appreciate your time, Captain. I sort of, as I turn, the sort of fake smile falls as I walk out the door.
That perfectly manicured smile that's been practiced in the mirror multiple times, almost like a sociopath. And you just drop it, and you just make your way to Mother. As you arrive to Mother, you go ahead and log in everything, and you just wait for that little dash bar. It's just beeping, and it just says report ?
So go ahead, sort of type in what I need to put in there.
type in everything you need to report, everything about it. Everything seems 4x4 on it. After you give your report, typically they let you know to sign off. They just send an affirmative and sign off. You see that dash blink for a couple more times. Any tampering? Question mark. Why/no?
Ooh. I would just report that the crew has started getting a little antsy, but it doesn't seem like anyone's touched it. Put it that way.
Got it. A time passes. Another moment passes. And then they start typing again, and it says, and under no circumstances does anyone open that case. ... Any force required, you have our blessing. And then it says afterwards, it says understood ? Why/no or why/n. And you say yes, and then they say affirmative. Over and out. You stand up. You make your way. Go back to your bunk with the smelly roughneck in the bed across from you. Reeves.
Hi there. I think I'd like to tamper with that crate. So, soon as folks are asleep, I'd like to go for a little stroll through the bay there and go check that sucker out.
You go ahead and
Do I see him walking through the ship towards the fucking crate?
go ahead and make me an observation check.
All right, yeah, because I'm still up, like drinking, like.
Yeah. Are you being stealthy by any means, Reeves?
In the sense that I'm sort of making it look nonchalant, but not particularly stealthy, you know?
Hell, cowboy, you know what that means. Go ahead and make me a stealth check here real quick.
All right.
All right, observation and whatever.
Observation and wits. Yeah, observation and wits.
Would that be mobility?
Yeah, that would be mobility.
Mobility, okay.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Ooh.
No
Nothing?
sixes.
No
Yep.
sixes?
Yeah.
No
No
sixes?
sixes for me.
Even wash. Even wash. Would either one of you like to push a roll?
No, thank you.
I mean, he's my friend.
Yeah, why would you? Yeah, why would you? He's Sam Elliott. Why would you?
Yeah,
push him?
exactly. He's my boy. I make fun of his silly accent, and I drink and smoke with him. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
So definitely, you guys, you see him on the computer. He looks like he's getting up for a late night bug juice. Which, nothing against that on regulation. He can walk around as long as he doesn't go into anybody's private quarters, and he's definitely not going to anybody's private quarters. So you just quickly you check him and you kind of dwell on him a little bit because he's moving down below deck, below the personnel deck. But then you're just like, oh, whatever. Oh, was that a shooting star? Oh man.
yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I light up another cigarette. That kind of thing. All right, cool.
Jonah, as you are making your way down the hallway, you get to the cargo bay. Keypad, it's green. You just have to press it. Doors open quietly. And even more ominous, there's nobody in this cargo bay. So there's no reason for the lights to be on, except for there's that one light that's over this I said monolith before, and that's accurate. Imagine not quite the size, but Mecca, the structure of the Temple of Mecca, that black cube, that kind of weight upon it, with all those languages. Only one you know how to read.
Right.
You could pass through a couple of Spanish if you tried. It'd take
Sure.
you back. And you just see the Wayland Yutani. Do not tamper. Classified. Do not disrupt. Do not open. And it just looks way, way too tasty to touch.
Well, I'd like to start by making a round, a physical roundabout. Maybe tap on it here and there. See if I can hear anything or notice anything.
As you go ahead and you go tum tum, tum tum, tum tum, and you kind of look around, you see there's a keypad on there. And it's not password protected or anything, you think. You don't see any number, like numerical, like things like that. You just see a keypad on there that obviously would probably open up the thing. You see it's still sealed. It's like the tape on it's unsealed. The magnalocks are still on it. The straps are still on it. And as you make that last round, you kind of look at the keypad and you do your final tum-tum. You hear a tum.
From inside? A hop back for a second.
Yeah.
Hand goes right to the 357.
Mm-hmm.
Well, ain't that something? I'll go back. I'll do a shave and a haircut.
Yeah, you give the old.
I don't do the 2 bits. I'm waiting for my 2 bits.
Yeah, you go. You hear and you wait for the 2 bits, and then you just hear just one solid, just. It seems like you only got 1 bit there.
Interesting. Well, I guess it ain't illegal to move pets, as far as I know. All right. Is there any kind of sign from the outside of the crate of I don't know, dents or scratches, or is there any kind of indication of something?
It's a perfectly clean crate.
Hmm.
Seems like if there was any smudges on it, they've been cleaned off. Actually, the only smudges you see are your little knuckle marks on it.
Okay. Is anybody else up right now? If I kind of wander around a little bit, go through the mess, and sort of.
I'll go ahead and even give it to you. The only person,
Wyatt, yeah, Wyatt.
Yeah, the only person you know that's up is Wyatt, and you can hear some of the.
Yeah, I'm listening to music and drinking and smoking.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna head up there. I'm gonna head up to the cockpit.
Head up to the cockpit, listening to some royalty-free music. You see Wyatt Good, drinking and smoking.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Jonah, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey there, Wyatt. Hey, can I talk to you about something?
Yeah, I'm always here for you. You know that.
Y'all ever haul livestock or pets or anything like that?
Livestock? I mean,
You had a couple cows one time.
yeah. I mean, there's sure. I mean, I've a few places here and there, but I mean, not like a lot. Why?
Well, that funny crate everybody keeps talking about?
Oh yeah, the one Rasmussen's all enough about you.
Yeah, well, I was happening by a little bit ago on my nightly constitutional, and I noticed some noises coming from it. Something was maybe banging on the inside. Does that sound like, I don't know, odd to you?
No shit. Huh.
No shit.
No shit.
Well, I mean, hold on. Let me see. And I'll pull up the logs about this. Like, is there anything written down? Like, is it properly written down as like livestock or alive? It's just classified, right?
Exactly what you see on the manifest. As you pull it up, you see all the listed stuff that's going straight to Gorham's Folly, and then at the very bottom, you just see redacted, property of Wayland Yutani, and it has how much it weighs, which is.
Is it the same as?
It's only about 400 pounds.
Is it the same of? It wouldn't be the same as like livestock, then. It wouldn't be like that, right?
Oh no. And typically, if you have livestock, it's not sealed.
Yeah, of course, because it's got to be able to breathe and shit. Yeah. What the fuck? All right, so I show Jonah this. I'm like, this is fucked up, man. I don't know what this is. I mean, we could talk to that fucking Rasmussen guy, maybe what? But he's gonna just give us fucking flack like he did before.
Yeah, you're right. He's gonna just snow us. I gotta tell you, I don't know whether this could be some kind of human trafficking, some kind of illegal animals.
We gotta talk to the fucking captain about this shit, because I'm not fucking going down for some fucking corporate tool on my goddamn ship.
I'm on your side, man. You think we can talk to the captain now, or should we wake her up? What do you think's best?
What? How much time in sleep do we have?
You've got a full 8 hours. Because so y'all have gone through like it was 48 hours when you got out of cryo to get to touchdown for planetfall. Y'all have gone through about like 16 hours.
16 hours?
Y'all have gone through a full day's like duty and everything like that.
So
and you're
like
bedding down. So you
so
have
like
like
in real time, it would be like 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's like it's like around 2 a.m. It's hard to tell on the ship and everything like that. Like the captain really sets the time, and so the captain's just like, yeah, bedtime, get up time.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah, because it's just fucking space. So
yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be like, nah, man, this is way more important because if he's fucking hauling like people,
Right.
we gotta get him out of there. Fuck.
Yeah, we cannot have that. So yeah, let's wake her up.
All right, so I'll pass you a cigarette, and I'll be like, you know, she ain't gonna be happy about this shit.
No.
And we'll head down towards the captain.
You guys make your way down towards the captain like a couple of yokels, just walking down with a purpose and a hitch in your step, and you get to the captain's quarters, and you guys knock a couple times.
Yeah.
Here's some stirring. You're gonna knock a couple more times, and then crack open. You see the captain. What the fuck do you two want?
Hey, you know we wouldn't fucking wake you up if it wasn't fucking important.
It best be fucking important.
Jonah, fucking tell her.
Ma'am, I do apologize for arousing you, but
one goddamn minute, and she like kind of like looks inside, and she steps out, and she's like, "What the fuck do you want?"
Well, see, ma'am, I was just making the rounds, just wandering about, having a little trouble sleeping, and I happened to wander by that crate, that special crate that we got stored down there.
I'm aware.
And it knocked at me, ma'am. There's something in there, and it made a noise. It knocked.
Yeah, you know, Jonah doesn't fucking lie about shit like that.
I don't know
No,
Jonah
absolutely
for
not.
Adam. It knocked at you?
Yeah, ma'am, there is something alive in there, and the thing is, something sealed away like that is something that somebody don't want us to know about, and I'm afraid what that might be.
Okay, so we get to an interesting part of the game here. I'm going to need an empathy roll from both of you, or one of you can roll for the two of you, and you'll get an extra dice added to your pool.
Oh, what do you want to do?
And it's going to be an empathy and manipulation.
I am not great at that, so how are you?
I got a 4 in empathy, actually. I got a 0 in manipulation, though.
I'm 2 and 0, so you're better off.
All right, so do you want me to just roll 5?
Sure.
All right,
Roll
cool.
5?
Yes. All right, so I'm gonna roll 5. I'm doing a dice roller.
Perfectly fine.
Sorry, my dice is at a friend's house, and I cannot. And I'm doing the right thing, not going to get them.
Good. Happy to hear it. Hey, by the way, folks, while we got a roll here, make sure that you donate to the link that you might find here for the COVID-19 Relief Fund. We have raffles going on as well. If you check out over on Gehenna Gaming's Twitch, it's doing it for a great cause. All right, back to the action.
That is the truth. Absolutely. So I got nothing and a 1.
Well, you didn't have stress, and you could push it.
I would push this one because, this is seriously bad shit, and that Rams music guy is fucking weird. So, let's make sure.
Let's go ahead.
That asshole.
Yeah, I'm completely with you. Let's go ahead and add one more dice. That's your stress dice here.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, and still nothing in a 1.
You got nothing in a 1?
Yeah. All 5, 3, 1, 2, 5, 4. There you go.
Now, I did antagonize the captain earlier. I don't know if we get any bonus die off of that.
So I'm now moving to a section of the book of Free League Publishing's Alien RPG Core Rulebook that is entitled Panic Rolls. So what you do on this chart here is if somebody pushes the stress test and they get a 1 on that, and we'll say just for fun here, just so we can get the full breadth of the system.
Of course.
I get to roll on the panic chart, which is a D66 chart. Now, D66, it's 2 D6s. I'm going to use one of my own stress dice. That's going to be the 10th degree. And I'm going to do it. Ooh, this is going to be really good. This is going to be really good. Oh, this is really good. So.
Oh, no.
So, you got nervous twitch. So, as you're trying to, like, explain to the captain here, who was half asleep, who was just not having any of your shit, you notice Reeves, Wyatt starts kind of twitchy in his eye, and is, like, kind of stutter a little bit. So, with nervous twitch, your stress level goes up 1. So, you now have a stress of 2.
2, right? Yeah, okay.
Yep. Jonah, also,
Mm-hmm.
everybody in the short range has stress level up 1 as well. So it's stressing you out seeing this guy having so much trouble trying to explain to his commanding officer that y'all aren't lying. Like, he's being fucking serious. That also means that the captain's stress level goes up 1 as well. And that does show by, as you're trying to explain yourself, Wyatt, the captain goes, "Good. I'm trying to sleep. It is too late. I've had a full day. You've had a full day. I assume Sheriff Reeves here has had a full day. He's worth a more goddamn than that Rasmussen character. He might be worth more than you. Now, I recommend that you two go to bed and not worry a goddamn thing about what's in that crate. And if you touch it, I swear to all above and below, I will have your hide, all right?"
All right, ma'am.
Are we good?
Ma'am, it is not Wyatt's fault here. It is I who discovered the knocking noise, and with all due respect, I am not a member of your crew. I am a law enforcement officer, and what if there are people trapped in that crate, ma'am?
Well, I'm a Wayland.
That would be on you.
You know what? You're right. I'm a Wayland Yutani employee. I'm also tired as shit. I also haven't had a decent night's sleep with my wife. I would like to have both of those things. I would also like to not be having this fucking conversation. If you deem it fit that you need to open up that crate, then you go ahead and open up that fucking crate. But you're going to be prepared to deal with those consequences, all right? I'm not going to have my fucking crew get docked in their pay at all, okay? Understood?
Understood, ma'am.
Are we 5x5 good?
We are good.
All right. Now get the fuck to sleep, both of you.
All right, ma'am.
And if you smoke near my door one more time, I swear to Christ, I'm going to take that cigarette and I'm going to shove it up your ass.
Oh, come on now. Jesus. Fucking fuck.
Yeah. And she goes ahead and, like, she looks like she's going to slam the door, and she kind of stops and she gingerly closes it and goes back to bed. All right.
All right. I'm gonna. Good. What are you doing? Are you going back to the cockpit?
Yeah, I'm gonna. I like fucking angrily put my cigarette out on her door. And fucking, I'm like, Jonah, do you seriously think there are people in there?
Well, there's something in there. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I don't know what else we should do. I mean, like, should we open it? I can't open it. I'm a fucking employee, and I need this money, man. Like, I'm I gotta get paid. This is my shit. So, I mean, there's nobody else awake. I mean, if you want some backup, shit, I'll go with you.
Yeah, you know what? I'm opening that goddamn crate. I'm gonna go do it. Good. I don't want your ass in a sling because of what I'm gonna do. So if you want to go back to the bridge, I understand completely. But this is something I gotta do.
All right. How about this? if anything gets fucking crazy, I'll get you on video link. All
Perfect.
right? So like, all bets are off, right?
Right.
Like, all right.
You got
cool.
my back, and I feel good about that.
All right, cool. All right, so I'll just sit. I'll sit on the bridge.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
All right, you two split your ways. Wyatt, you're kind of like shaking a little bit. You're like, all right, I'm just going to stay on the bridge. I'm just going to get him on video. That's it. Reeves,
Totally fine.
you make your way. A little bit unsure of yourself, but you got yourself. You know who you are.
I do.
You make your way to Cargo Bay 2.
I'm going to make one stop on the way to Cargo Bay 2.
Okay.
If that's all right.
That's perfectly
I'm going to
fine.
stop by Rasmussen's bunk.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
Rasmussen?
And yeah, and I want to go in there, and I want to just walk right up and just whip the blanket right off his body if I can. Just grab it and whip it off, and I'm gonna with my hand on my 357, I'm gonna tap him on the shoulder and say, "Hey, we're gonna take a walk."
Okay, so two things. Josie, your bunk is next door. So make me an observation roll. Make me what's an observation. Second thing, Constantinos rolls over and sees your hand on your 357 and sees you like being like, we're going to go take a walk. And there's a moment where he's thinking about saying something. And then he just chuckles to himself and he rolls over. And you can see him kind of put the pillow up against his head. He's not seeing anything. He doesn't see anything.
Good man.
So I got double sixes.
Double sixes?
Yep.
You've heard commotion going on of people like walking by and talking in hushed whispers and everything like that. You're right across from the captain's quarters, so you heard the ribbing that they got. And then you hear next door to you hear clearly Reeves' voice talking to either Rasmussen or Masterson saying, you and I are going to go for a walk.
Now, in the time that all this has been happening on,
Yes.
has there been an opportunity for Rasmussen to make his way to the armory after getting instructions from HQ?
You know what? We're gonna make a mobility check for you here. Go ahead and give me, let's go ahead and make a mobility roll here, and because I like that.
Okay.
We're having fun here, folks. We're having fun. Yeah,
We're having fun this evening.
Make me an agility and mobility check here, please, Rasmussen.
Agility and mobility. Okay. Let's see what I get. I get 3 6s and a 1.
Where does he keep the rocket launcher?
So,
Where did you-
within the time that all this is going on, quickly, very quickly, precisely, almost like a sociopath, calmly and
Almost.
coolly, you made your way to where you've overheard them talking about, like, you've just overheard, and you know, it's where they keep a stash. It's where they keep, so if shit pops off, that's where they keep some stuff. I'm going to give you a choice. There's a stun baton, there's a med kit, there's a motion tracker, and then there's a pistol there. And it's not a 357. It doesn't have the stopping power like that, but it'll piss somebody off. It's an M4A3. It's the same thing that the captain has on their side, and the same thing that I'm sure Wyatt has one on their side too.
Maybe. I don't know what I got. Oh, actually, I got to check.
Which is the most easy to conceal in what I'm wearing?
What? Okay. I would say the motion tracker is bulky because the motion tracker looks like
Right.
a Geiger counter.
I'm between stun baton and gun.
The stun baton is collapsible.
Right.
So like, you pop a button and it springs out and then it's like sparking. You're ready to fucking rodeo at that point.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And the gun it's a pistol.
It's
a
gun.
It's a 9mm. So like, if you've got it sticking out of the back of your pants or something like that, like it's gonna be obvious. Or if you had it under your pillow, it's up to you.
I feel like I would have gone stun baton, even though instructions is very clear.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
stun baton is easier to conceal. It's like in a pocket. But
But
that's hidden information for me to know.
yeah, that's But these are hardworking Wayland Yutani employees, so you don't want to pop off too quickly.
Right.
So like,
it's a series of escalations.
Yeah. So it's there. It's there.
Yeah.
It's there for you.
Gotcha. Well, good evening to you, Sheriff. I was not expecting to see you again this evening.
Well, I'm sure you weren't, but you and I need to have a little talk. How about we proceed out of this room?
I feel like I have a good idea of where you would like to go. So I will be happy to accompany you and your pocket friend.
Wonderful, wonderful. Lead the way in your gym jams.
So I guess we get up and leave. Is there anybody accompanying us?
Nobody accompanying you. Masterson rolled over. Josie, what are you doing?
So I'm not in this room, correct? I'm in like the next room over.
No, you're in the next room over, but yeah. And you've heard everything that's been going on.
So Josie kind of sighs, goes, "Lord, give me strength." Whips off the blanket and heads over to the medical room with the assumption that something violent is probably going to happen, and so I'm going to start like activating some of the machinery, maybe grabbing a med kit or something like that.
Yeah.
Just kind of waiting for whatever the outcome of this very likely to be violent interaction is going to be.
Excellent. All right. We'll have you doing that, prepping that, getting that ready to go. Gentlemen, you make your way to cargo bay number 2. Just as you left it, Reeves, sitting there. And you happily walk Mr. Rasmussen up to the crate.
I'll say, Mr. Rasmussen, I'll tell you something I've learned in a long life with a lot of varied experiences, and that is how to smell a bullshitter when there's one in the room, and you, sir, are one. But I'm going to take your word at it at one thing, and that is the next thing you say to me is going to be the truth about what is in this crate right here and its value to both you and the Wayland Yutani Corporation. What do you say?
I will clarify that those are two different pieces of information, but I will agree, yes, that I will give you all the things that I know about both of those things. So I have no fucking clue what's in that goddamn crate everyone keeps asking about.
As soon as those words come out of his perfect little mouth, you hear a tongue come from inside.
Shit.
Do you hear that?
The captain was talking about. Okay. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, are you trafficking in some sort of rare and illegal exotic pet or something that's gonna get you a big payday when we land on Gorham's Folly? Is that what's happening here?
I get paid if it gets to the destination. That's what I get paid for. I don't get paid for whatever this is.
I see. So you don't have to pop in and give it some kibble every once in a while or something, whatever happens to be in there. You're just babysitting.
Another tongue.
Oh, there's no upkeep. As far as I knew, there was nothing alive in there until we got up in the last day, and now I'm getting a lot more information than I ever asked for about what was in the crate. And you seem to be agitating it. So if you don't mind, we can just sort of, if you're satisfied, we can just leave it be and just go back to sleep.
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm not sure that I can leave it be. You see, I'm supposed to take care of the welfare of the folks of Gorham's Folly.
Are we there yet?
We're not there yet, no. But when we get there, this crate will be transferring to the surface, and I'm afraid I'm just legally going to have to understand what's in there. So I'll just run over and pop this door open and see what I can see. How's that?
You could just really not do that. I would very much appreciate it, because we can look at it when we get to the destination and it is no longer my fucking problem.
We get to a point in the game where we've got ourselves a little bit of a standoff.
Stand up.
So, I need a call to action. I'm going to do things a little bit differently here. I need an action from both of you, whether it be a manipulation to get Reeves to go back to bed, or an agility action to go ahead and pop open this bad bitch, or what. But before we do that, I'm going to need you two to roll me a d10, please. We're going to do a little bit of an initiative. I'm going to mess with the mechanics here a little bit, since we don't have cards.
5.
So for you at home, initiative is done by a deck of cards. Seeing as how we are practicing social distancing currently, don't have a deck of cards. I'm having them roll a d10 instead. So what were those numbers?
5.
5? 8? Rasmussen, you get the first action.
All right. So
Or you both, actually, we're going to make this a little bit more interesting.
Okay.
You both say your action right now. And Rasmussen gets to act first.
I'm gonna try and persuade him to leave this alone.
Okay. So I'm gonna need a empathy and manipulation from both of you.
Okay.
Oof.
And remember to include your stress dice if you have.
Oh, right. Nothing.
Shit. I got a 1.
Okay. Well, you don't have any stress dice yet, Rasmussen, so no panic or anything like that. But it's a wash. So, what do you say to Mr. Reeves as he's going to do whatever you're wanting to do, Mr. Reeves?
It's a very sort of sort of stammered. You really just please don't touch the. Don't walk. No. Oh shit.
For the first time, Mr. Rasmussen seems not put together well, and he's kind of stammering a little bit over his words. What are you doing, Reeves?
I am going to hit that big red button.
Mr. Reeves, your hand goes against the keypad.
Mm-hmm.
There's no stopping you. There's no numerical code. There's nothing that comes up that says, "Are you sure you want to do this? Y/N."
It seems bad.
It's full of puppies.
Time.
Why would there be?
You just touch it real quick as Rasmussen is trying to stop you, and you hear a hiss. Tss, pa, 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 as all 4 maglocks on either side pop off. And the hiss gets louder, and you can tell that there's constraints against that tape, that sealing tape, that are holding against it, until finally you hear it's a weird sound of somebody somebody that's taped some cardboard over a broken window, and the wind just rips it off. As one side comes down, the other side comes down, and then the top and the back half collapse both behind it, and the part in front of you gently lets down. Almost as if it's beckoning you, Mr. Reeves. And what you see in the crate is what seems to be 2 pods, different varying levels, and a collection of rocks, almost like it's a fossilization. And then the eggs kind of start opening. And you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Can I, over the microphone, be like, "Get the fuck out of there, man"?
As you hear, "Get the fuck out of there, man," Wyatt, you notice on the vid link something that the other 2 don't notice. That giant fossilization moves a little bit.
Oh no.
And it looks like an arm kind of falls off to the side of it. And we're going to take a quick break here.
Yeah. Excellent.
All right. We'll be right back. And we are back with Upon Her Altar, an alien RPG cinematic scenario. I hope everybody grabbed themselves a drink and a snack, because I know I did, because I'm excited. So, where we last left off, if you're just picking up with us, there's a box. That box was taunting every single member of this crew. And our cowboy sheriff here just had the cojones enough to do it. And he did it. And he might be regretting it now. Where we last left off, Rasmussen was trying to convince him not to. Wyatt was looking almost helpless on a vid screen. Josie was getting medbay ready for whatever was going to come her way. The panels opened up, and we saw a couple of eggs there, starting to open up at the top in that very classic H.R. Geiger way that they do. Just look almost inviting, like a Christmas present opening up. And there's a almost like fossil-like thing. So it looks like a rock to you guys, but from Wyatt's angle, he's pretty sure an arm just fell down off of it.
Not a fucking rock, man. Yeah, so I'm gonna like scream across the fucking PA, Jonah, dude, get the fuck out of here, dude, now!
So, before we get into initiative,
that
PA is going. It's loud. You can hear it.
Oh, then Josie's grabbing the nearest thing and fucking running towards that cargo bay.
All right. Let's see. What are you gonna grab, Josie? What are you trying to grab here?
If there is like a quick med kit or just something like that.
We'll
I know I've got a surgical kit listed in my gear. I don't know if there's something else in addition that would be.
So your surgical kit is like it's like a field surgery kit. It's got your the word is slipping me, but whatever the sutures. It's got sutures. It's like field, like old school, like field, like a doctor's bag, like battlefield doctor's bag. But you can also grab a medical unit. That's gonna be like it's an all-in-purpose one where it's like it can treat burns. It'll do like a burn gel or whatever. It'll do a cast. It's one of those all-purpose ones where you just like you key into the keypad and you're like, okay, this motherfucker has a puncture wound. Put it over, it seals it. Stuff like that. Is
this bulky?
It's kind of bulky, but it's like it's not bigger than a briefcase.
Okay, so I would grab whatever that unit is and then bolt.
Yep. As soon as you start bolting and like just the thuds come down, gentlemen, I'm gonna give you an action before we have to do any dice rolls for initiative or anything like that. What are you doing?
I'm gonna start backing away. I'm gonna draw my pistol and aim it, just sort of generally. I don't know what these things are yet. They're these throbbing weird things. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna aim at them without shooting and start moving backwards towards the exit.
Cool. I'm trying to decide how bad I want to be here.
Come on, lay into it.
I want to try and stun Jonah from the back.
You evil motherfucker.
The pure joy on the team's face.
Can I try observation or something? Is something happening?
No, you cannot.
Oh no!
Because you are, as I recall, moving back and aiming at the egg.
That is true.
So
I feel bad now.
No, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad at all.
It's the right move, though. I know.
So, with a stun baton.
Yes.
You're moving back. You're aiming. So, good news, Jonah. For whatever pops out of that thing, or whatever you're expecting to come at you, you've got a bonus, which you do need it because it's a -2 to shoot small objects.
All right.
But since you're aiming, you've got a +2. So, good news on you. It's just a straight roll. The bad news is, as soon as you're like ready for anything to come out, you feel a fucking sting from hell right in your lower back, just right there, like right center mass in the lower back. So,
oh, no.
The stun baton has a battery power of 5, so it has 5 uses.
Fuck.
You used one of them. Jonah, I need you to make me a straight stamina roll. Nothing added to it, just your stamina, and just fucking go.
Not strength, just stamina?
Strength with stamina, sorry.
Okay,
sorry, yeah.
Okay. 1-6.
Okay, so. Good news. You're not stunned. It does hurt like a motherfucker, but you're
Yep.
not stunned. Bad news. Somebody stunned you. And you gotta focus on those eggs. You got something behind you. Jose, you run into the cargo bay with like your briefcase and your surgical bag, and you see Rasmussen kind of like crouched a little bit with like a stun baton out. Right behind, you see a couple burn marks on Jonah's back. Jonah seems actively irritated, but he is pointing at what seems to be a dais almost. An altar, if you will. And 2 alien eggs. You wouldn't know them as alien eggs, but you, Josh, know them as alien eggs. Starting to open, and what looks like it could be like a spine or something, but it's like delocated. It's spiny, whatever it is, kind of fall off the side of this like fossiled altar-like structure. Wyatt, what are you doing? Because you just saw Rasmussen poke your boy in the back,
Oh, what
and
the
then
fuck?
you're seeing stuff. You're seeing something start to move.
All right. So, do we got like a klaxon or something like that that would wake everybody up and get fucking people going, kind of thing?
It's a standard issue on every ship. You've got a
All
klaxon
right, cool.
there.
All right. And do we have any weapons around?
You would
Because I do not have any weapons on my sheet.
you would know that there is a bug out gun in case shit gets hectic and you gotta lock down the cockpit.
Uh-huh.
It's underneath the captain's seat. It is just a basic pop and load and go shotgun.
Sure. All right, cool. So I'm gonna grab that fucking shotgun,
Okay.
fucking load some shells into it, fucking cock it in a fucking cinematic way,
Yeah.
and then fucking slam that klaxon and be like, motherfucker ain't gonna hurt my boy.
So a couple of things are gonna happen now. I love this game. You need to know about the shotgun. It is a pump shotgun. It has
Okay.
8 rounds in it.
Okay,
So you have a full clip, 8 rounds.
sure.
It does cost a fast action to pump it. After
Okay.
you shoot it, pump it. You have a +2 dice to hit shit.
Oh, nice.
It does a damage of 3 if it does hit, but that's only at short range. If it goes
Yeah, because
medium,
spreads
it's a
out.
-1. If it's at long range, it's a -2.
Okay.
Also, it's got armor penetration. So,
Oh.
you're good. Thing is, you're at the fucking bridge. So,
Yeah, I'm way the fuck out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
next things. So, just keep that in mind. Got that? And I'll remind you if need be. I'm going to need everybody to roll a d10 real quick.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll a couple of them, actually.
8 for me.
8. Got it.
6 for Jonah.
All right. So,
You.
8.
I got a whole bunch of 4.
Okay. Perfect. Jonah, you got a 6, you said?
6, yep.
Perfect. All right. And then Wyatt's got a 4.
Yes.
Rasmussen, you've got a 2.
Yes.
Got it. Cool. All right, I'm going to roll a couple times, okay?
The giggles are horrifying.
Okay, so. Not too bad for you guys. Not too bad at all. Still not great. But not bad. And then. Cool. So I'll even be fair enough to let you guys know. Because I'm a fair guy. So, first off, we've got Josie. Then we've got Jonah. Then we've got the crew. Then we've got Wyatt. Then we've got Rasmussen. Enemy side, eggs are going first. Before all of you guys. But you got a chance to defend yourself, Jonah. So, what happens next is opens. You guys that are actually down there, you can't really see Josie. You're kind of farther back. You see a little tendril almost come up, kind of move around, and then you see what looks like spider legs creeped over the side, and then it just fucking leaps for you. Both of you. So, Jonah, I need you to go ahead and make me a ranged combat roll.
All right.
And, Tomas, I'm going to need you to make me a mobility roll with agility.
Mobility with agility.
Yep. And let me bring out the part of the book that I didn't think I was going to get to. The bug part of the book, the Xeno part. Excellent. Okay.
Oh no.
Fuck me.
This is great.
This is great television. This is what
Keep rolling. This is great television.
Keep rolling. This is great television. Okay. Cool. So, Jonah, what'd you get?
2 6s.
2 6s. Excellent. Rasmussen, what'd you get?
3 1s.
Whoa!
It tells itself. The story tells itself.
Again, keep rolling.
Keep rolling. This is great. Okay, so this is gonna be pretty cool here. This is gonna be really cool here. So, first off, Jonah, you've got the damage on your gun, right?
Yeah, it's
And
2.
2, and did you include the bonus?
In my dice roll?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to check.
Yep.
Real quick. All right. No, not a neomorph. We're not that fancy. Okay, so. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Rasmussen. You see what looks like a fucking spider, but it looks like a flesh mound. It's hard to describe. You yourself know it's a face hugger. But it just leaps. And Jonah, the first thing you fucking see is this little proboscis kind of coming out, aimed right at your face, and like dead to rights. Like, yeah, your back stings like a motherfucker, but you had that thing's number ever since it leaped out of that egg sac, and you blast it. And it just like the entry point goes in, splatters out the back, and you see a little bit of hissing coming up off of the panel. Some you turn and try to gauge the situation. Tomas, you kind of get distracted by seeing that facehugger burst out of the air, and you're like, "Oh, I'm saved." Turn, and you just see a fucking mound proboscis
No.
come at you and just latch onto your face, and you see it latch onto Tomas's face and to get a little bit graphic here, you feel something trying to feel around, trying to make its way into your system. Cool. So, knowing that,
Good talk, everybody.
Josie, what's your move?
So I imagine I'm kind of sitting in like the doorway of this cargo bay, like it just opened as I walk in and kind of see this going on.
And it's been a while since you've seen or heard that noise. So it kind of jolts you a little bit. It jolts you like awake almost, of like when you hear that 357 round go off, and you hear a as it like in the hissing, and you get to work.
So I'm just gonna kind of sit there stunned for a second. Can I just observe the room without necessarily sprinting into it? I've walked into something, and I'm not going to just sprint right in.
Okay, yeah. So do you want to do a concentrated like focus using a slow action, or do you want to just do a quick scan?
How about a slow action?
Slow action. Okay, go ahead and roll me a wits and observation here, real quick.
1-6.
1-6.
Yes.
All right. So scanning around, you can kind of assess the situation real quick. Somebody opened the crate. There's something in the crate. it's not human. It's not animal like you've ever seen. Jonah seemed to handle himself pretty quickly, but Tomas was so distracted that something has attached himself to his face, and he seems to be struggling with it. At the same time, you notice that kind of rocky structure that looks almost like an altar. There's something moving on it. And it's big. Not massive, but it seems like it was like curled up a little bit, and it seems like it's starting to unfurl a little bit, and it doesn't look human, and it doesn't look nice at all.
So Josie's gonna, after making that quick look, I'm not going to approach the situation at this point because I'm starting to get a little freaked out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of yell over to Jonah after I see Tomas with this thing around his face and go, grab him and get him out of here. I'm coming this way, and I kind of like hand gesture.
Cool. All right. And you do have one more fast action.
I don't really have anything to.
Cool. All right.
That I would do at this point.
Rolling right along, Jonah. You're next. What are you doing, my friend?
Let's see. I will. Do I see this thing moving? The altar thing?
I will say, yeah. You're up close enough, and you've dealt with your immediate threat that you kind of turn and look, and you see something that looks almost like. You can't even really describe it. It looks a semblance to a head, but it starts rising up, and you can kind of see a couple of spines unfurling a little bit behind it. It's jet black. It's glistening, almost like seeing a bug up close. And you can hear a small hissing noise. It's pissed, whatever it is. It's been cooped up, and it's also, it's not cooped up anymore.
Right. Okay. Well, for my first fast action, I will start moving back towards the door.
Cool.
For my full action, I'm going to shoot the thing that's moving.
Okay.
And then if I have another fast action to do, I will perhaps half-heartedly try to grab Rasmussen and pull him through the door. But that is objective C. Or maybe C, I don't know.
It's down on the priority list.
I will say Rasmussen is like moving around a little bit like that. So you're going to go ahead, back up, and you're going to take a pot shot. Go ahead and make me another shot. Also, it's a large, so you get an extra bonus dice because it is a large object that you're firing.
Oh, wow. All right.
Did I just hear, of course it is?
Wow. On 9 dice, I got 1 6.
Whew! Okay, so that is a success. That is a success. So, you do pull the trigger, hammer hits, you hit home, and you see a splatter behind as you hit it in the shoulder. It doesn't seem to stop it from moving, but you see the head kind of like shake a little bit, and you notice that it's kind of wide back brimmed, and you see like its arm move a little bit, and it's starting to stand up a little bit. It's fucking big, dude. And there's like some like green like ichor just like leaking out of it, and you can hear the hiss it has on its own like carapace, whatever that fucking glistening armor it is. You don't know what it is, but it agitates it, and you just see this mouth open up, and then you just see inside the mouth another mouth just kind of like hissing at it, and it starts unfurling a little bit more. And then you go ahead and you put a hand on Rasmussen, who's still futzing with this thing that's on his face, and you start pulling him back as well. At this point, you guys hear boots clattering behind you. You hear boots clattering behind you. As from a side door, from what seems from the port side of the ship, where the other bunks were, you see Becca Wu, with a pulse rifle, standing there and trying to assess the situation. You see behind her real quick, you see Phelps, that has a pistol of their own out, trying to assess the situation. And then you also see the captain and Kadira standing there on the port side entrance into the cargo bay. Behind you, you hear sleepily stumbling in. You hear a drowsy Russian and a very irritated roughneck saying like, "What the fuck is going on?" Oh God! Behind you. Some quick things happen. I have to roll real quick. Also, by the way, all of you go up a stress dice. By the way.
Oh, great.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to be the guy that reminds the teacher about homework, but that sounded right to me.
Yeah. So, real quick. Of course you did. Cool. That's good for you guys. Actually, there we go. Oh, poor boy. Oh, no. Okay. One more roll. Actually, two more. Really good.
Oh, no.
Okay, dope. All right. So, quick things happen. Phelps fires off a shot. You hear a tang as it hits one of the crates behind it, and a hiss as it seemed to hit something that was pressurized behind it. At the same time, you hear Kadira yelling and running over to grab a fire axe. And you see the captain has their own 357, fires, hits the thing, and it hisses again, and it starts unfurling a little bit more. You hear a trickle behind you as and beside you, Josie, you notice that the good doctor has started to relieve himself. And then you see Constantinos calmly, collectedly, coolly start making his way over to the loader.
Oh, shit.
All right, cool. That's their turn. Wyatt, what you doing? You're running.
I'm fucking running. I'm booking.
You're booking.
Like,
so we're gonna say,
ass.
just to expedite this stuff like that, just to get you into the mix, you run in behind Constantinos and the doctor, and you see Josie standing there like assessing the situation, ready to like take care of what needs to be taken care of. You see somebody firing. You also see, I forgot one person. You see Security Officer Wu let rip with a pulse rifle, and you just hear that trademark like pulse rifle sound as it just rips full auto. Their stress goes up once. Nobody else's though goes up though, and it just cuts. Those bullets just cut into a little bit of the thing that's standing there, as well as the empty egg sacs. And that's what you're running into right now. Hell has effectively started to break loose.
Okay, cool.
You see before you the scene.
Okay, so this is how far out is my buddy Jonah? Like, how far out is he?
Jonah's moving up close to you. I'd say he's about 10 meters away.
All right, so he's good. So that means that like
he's moving back.
Yeah, that's good. He's pulling back. So I'm gonna give him like cover fire. Like I'm gonna run up before him and just kaboom, kaboom, that kind of shit. Like, or at least one shot.
You run up to him. Go ahead and you can go ahead and fire and then reload. So you're moving, and then you can fire, reload. You still have a fast action left after that. So go ahead and roll me a ranged combat roll and add a +3 because you have a +2 because of the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, it's just a +2 because you're also medium range to it.
Sure.
So it's a -1, +1 because of it's a large object, but you have a +2. So roll with 2 extra dice, please.
All right, so 2 extra dice. So I got on my ranged combat at 2, and then what is it? Agility?
It's agility alongside with it.
Ooh, I got a whole bunch of those.
Good.
3, 4, 5, and then +2.
Yep.
All right. Wow. Hold on, I got one more die to roll. That's real bad.
Did you add your stress dice as well?
Oh, yeah, so I got to stress a 3, so let me add those 3.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, so that's better. So no ones.
No ones.
I got 2 6s.
2 6s.
Out of all those dice. Like,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So, and this is something I'm going to go ahead and give you a +1 on your next move, Jonah, because I did not ask you, and that is my bad. Getting all swept up in the thrill of it all. But
No problem.
since you got a raise, effectively, in your ranged combat, that means you get a stunt. So you get to fire. You fire once, you're going to cause damage to it. So you get to either inflict 1 more point of damage. You can pin down your enemy. They need to make an immediate panic roll. You position yourself and get to exchange your initiative score with your enemy, taking effect next turn. You can't go back to your earlier initiative. So you could effectively take its turn, but it would take your turn on the next round of combat. So you could get to go twice. Your target drops a weapon or another handheld object, you choose which, or the opponent falls to the ground or is pushed back, for example, through an airlock.
So because that was me, not Jonah?
Yeah, that was you.
Oh, okay, cool.
You.
Just making sure. I'm gonna give it it's either pin it down or push it back, one or the other. So I'm gonna try to push it back.
Cool.
With that extra 6, because I want it to be fucking scared of me.
Good.
Because also fuck Woo.
Yeah.
Woo's got this big ass fucking pulse rifle. I got a fucking regular old shotgun. Fuck him.
Yep. So you go over right behind, and Jonah, you feel a hand on your back, like tap twice, and then right over you, a trigger pull, concussive sound as it just rocks inside of this chamber, and it kind of gets you like pretty quick. But pellets, it's like flechette almost, just peppers this thing, and it hisses and kind of roars a little bit and like moves its flank to the side. And you said you wanted to push it back or pin it down.
Yeah, I want to push it back. Yeah,
push it back.
Or no, actually, I'll pin it down. Pin it
down, and it's almost like as it's starting, like as it was like starting to like come up and everything like that. It almost kind of like recedes, almost back, furling back in on itself, and like a protective kind of stance almost. And you have 1 more fast action if you want to do anything else.
It's just gonna be pulling Jonah out of there.
Cool.
Like,
cool.
Yeah, it's just get my boy out.
We'll
like
say that you guys move back towards Josie's position and the good Dr. Aslov, who is relieving themselves currently.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next, our good friend Rasmussen.
What's up?
You've got this thing kind of feeling around on ya. Can you go ahead and give me a quick strength and let's see here. I just need to double check it real quick. Yeah, I need a strength and stamina roll from you.
Oh, cool. It's like my lowest one. Let's see. Okay, and one stress die?
Yeah.
Okay, I do get 1 6.
You do get 1 6.
Yes.
So as you're like pulling off this thing, and it's like you feel it squirming around and everything like that, you get a hold of it, and almost like it's not interested in you anymore. It doesn't want to play with you anymore. You pull it off easily, and it unhinges, and it falls to the ground, and you guys all see it like all plop on the ground, and then immediately like right itself. And almost like it doesn't have eyes or like a face or anything like that, but it seems like there's a tail whipping around behind it. It looks like a manta ray on spider legs, and it looks like it's frantically trying to find something to give, something that it wants to like latch on to. So that does not count against your actions, though, Tomas.
Hey.
What are you doing? Because that was in reaction to what it was trying to do. I will have you notice that.
Clear out.
Clear out? All right, cool.
Yes. As far out as I could possibly get.
You're gonna bug out. Double movement. Are you heading down the hallway?
I'm trying to get to Mother.
Oh, okay, you're trying to get to Mother? All right. So you do have an interesting talent as a corporate agent. Can you read that talent name out to me real quick?
Yeah. I have personal safety.
Personal safety. So, it's almost like you switch places with somebody. You're immediately bugging the fuck out. This is not your forte. This is not what you were built for. Who are you swapping places with effectively?
Oh no. Oh, all right. I've already been shitty to a player, so I might focus on one of the NPCs. Okay, but I'm gonna be a shit though. I'm gonna do Captain's wife.
Wow.
You guys see Tomas run across, trying to get out of there, and you're using all of your movement stuff like that, and just by sheer like fight or flight symptoms, you push Kadira forward, and you're like I gotta get out of here, and you push Kadira forward, and she kind of stumbles, like she has a fire axe in hand, and she says, "What the fuck?"
Oh no.
I'm gonna make a roll here real quick.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
Right.
It always hurts me to do this. It doesn't really, but it always hurts me to do this. I just got to do something for posterity's sake. Cool. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. You guys see, and it happened so fast. Kadir gets pushed forward, fire axe in hand, turning to fucking see what she's up against as she corrects herself, and you see the alien thing kind of trying to protect itself, and it lashes out with this tail, and it goes straight for Kadira, and you see her get shoved out of the way, and the captain is just impaled through the tail spike and lifted up, and is just shock on the captain's face, and she the gun kind of clatters to the ground, and then the alien just kind of shakes its head, hisses, and then just slings the captain against some crates.
Holy fuck.
So you did pin it down, so it does not get a move action this turn, but it did impale and sling, so that is effectively its turn.
It's the little things in life. I mean, come on.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna make one more roll.
Some of us are helpers and some are not.
So who is technically in front right now? Everybody's getting pulled back. Rasmussen bugged out. So Konstantinos is making their way towards the loader. You guys are moving back. Yuri is standing still, shocked, panicked. He's catatonic until his next turn. Rolling for posterity's sake. Yeah, easy. You see the facehugger leap and immediately attach itself to Yuri, right on his face, and it's almost like he got clotheslined. He just goes down immediately, and you can see his legs kind of kicking as this thing's tail immediately wraps around his neck and just kind of holds him in place, and you can see his hands kind of flexing and moving. And then he just stops real quick. And yeah. Josie, your turn.
All right, so the captain, is there any chance in hell that this person's surviving? After I just watched this impalement.
You'll know that even with an impalement, it depends. You would have to take a quick look at the captain. But I mean, there's a good chance that they could they probably won't survive, but there's a good chance that she's probably still alive currently.
All right. So I can either help out Yuri or go to the captain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming those are within my choices here.
Yep. I mean, you can do anything that you want, really.
Okay. So Yuri is so the captain's like flung against some crates against the wall, right? And Yuri is just sitting on the ground.
Yeah, he has gone like stock still, and you can kind of see some movement, but it seems like most of the movement's coming from this creature that is attached to his face.
Where is Tandor in relation to this cargo door that I'm at?
You look around, Tandor's nowhere to be found.
Motherfucker. So I kind of yell out, somebody get Yuri to the med bay, and then I'm going to sprint over to the captain if I can, and then assess to see if there is something I can do in terms of medical aid.
Okay, so you say that. So if I get Yuri to med bay, you run over. You still do have a slow action, I would say. You run up to the captain. I'd say this thing is hissing and like kind of far off, but you're kind of focused. Do you want to go ahead and make a med aid check?
Sure.
All right.
Would I take any additional stress during this situation before
I would say,
roll?
yeah, you saw one of your, you did see your captain get impaled and thrown, so you would have had a stress up. Wyatt, you also have a stress up as well.
Cool, thanks.
Great, so, alright. Double successes on
Nice.
medical.
Excellent. So, with that means it's a success. It also means that... Come on now.
So if this is a critical injury, can I roll those successes as fixing the critical injury and then... what the hell is it called?
Yeah, so it's save a life.
Yeah.
So you can do recovery or you can do save a life. The most critical use of medical aid is saving the life of a fallen character who has suffered a critical injury. A failed word at this point can be the end for your patient, so be careful. So yes, I would say that you effectively, especially with 2 successes. So what you do, you immediately get to the captain. They still seem to be holding on. She's mouthing something. There's some blood on the corner of the mouth there. It is a very serious injury. But you go ahead quickly and effectively immediately take whatever cloth you can, some gauze in your bag, whatever you can, and you pack the wound as much as you can on both sides. It seems that it's punctured something. It's rearranged a lot. And you go ahead and take your other bag and you seal it real quick. I'm gonna roll on a table here real quick.
Sure.
Good. So, effectively, from what you're seeing real quick, she's got a success. She does, I mean, other than the major wound that is going to determine whether she lives or dies on next couple of rolls for a little bit, she does also seem to be suffering from a concussion and is in shock. So she is effectively like out of commission for a good long time, which, good news, Executive Officer Phelps has received a promotion. Due to, I mean, just in your professional sense, yeah, she's out of action. If she survives, she's not gonna recover from this for a long time.
So I basically, there's nothing else I can do in the field here. I would have to get her...
You have to get her
to
to
the med bay,
stat.
put her in the pod.
Put her in the pod and keep her contained in cryo until you can get her to an actual hospital facility. Probably on Gorham's is going to be your best bet, hoping that they have something substantial, being a mining colony.
Okay.
All right. Jonah, what you doing?
All right. First things first. I'm going to shoot this thing as I'm backing towards the exit because, danger must be taken care of. I forget. Is there a max number of dice? Does it max out at anything?
It does not max out.
Okay. All right.
There's a point where you like run out of dice, but like you can keep going if you want to. Sooner or later, you're gonna.
All right, so I got 3 6s, but I also got a 1 on a stress die.
Okay. Let me see.
So it's good news, bad news. Is
Good
what
news,
I'm saying.
bad news. Yeah. So you are gonna have a panic roll. That is
Okay.
That is it. But you are successful, and you also get to choose one of those same effects, those stunts, because you had.
Yeah, I want to do as much damage as I can.
You had and you had 3, correct?
3 6s, yeah.
3 6s. Okay, so you're gonna do the initial damage plus
Which
2
is
more.
2. So
yeah.
4 damage.
Yeah, 4 damage against this thing. You fucking zero in on that mouth. Like you're like if there's one thing that I know, shooting something in the head is gonna put this thing down. And you zero in, and you guys see a bullet just chamber right in as it's hissing, and it pisses this thing off. It starts rolling about, and it's just roaring and everything like that. You've effectively like pissed this thing off tremendously. But with that comes a panic roll.
Indeed.
Yo. So go ahead and roll me. No, I got it. Okay, here. So, as soon as you do that, and you see it reacting, but you don't see it go down effectively, you guys see Reeves just start screaming and screaming, and it's not like an angry scream. It's like out of sheer terror. Like it's finally hit you that this thing is like not natural. It's not normal, and it's not going down a way a wild animal or something would. And you start screaming. You lose your slow action next round. You can still but you are effectively like losing it right now. You don't drop anything. You're just losing it.
We all popping up on stress because of this? Or...
Yes. Everybody within his immediate vicinity, which I believe is all of you except for Rasmussen.
All right.
Then I guess I'll take my fast actions and just vamoose. You know, I'm going out the door.
Screaming, and you see him just turn tail and just start fucking hauling dick down the hallway. And just screaming. You just hear like it as it goes down the hall. The crew is next. Kadira immediately goes over to you, Josie, and is like, "What do we do? What do we do? What's wrong? How bad is it? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?"
Medbay now.
Medbay now. She tries to pick up her wife. Shouldn't be too bad though. Yeah, easily. Fight or flight kicks in and picks her up and starts walking, effectively running as much as she can towards the med bay. Phelps. Oh, God. She's going to use her talent. Okay, so everybody in the immediate area. She's going to use a talent that she has for being an officer. Officers get a certain specific talent that helps them kind of assess the situation and do what they deem fit to try to take command. It's called Field Commander. So she's going to shout out, "Everybody, out now!" You all hear it. You're in the vicinity. You lose a stress dice. So it takes that away. She is going to turn and like get by the door, like by the pad that opens and shuts the door, and everything like that. And she's like trying to like haul everybody out. Wu takes another pot shot at the thing, and is backing up effectively, like kind of like covering. Shots going wild. It's just like peppering everything but the creature. And you see Constantinos is not doing any of that. And then he immediately like clambers up inside of this thing, gets kind of like seated, straps in, and you guys kind of see the arms kind of move to life as he starts stepping in this loader towards the thing.
Oh boy.
Wyatt, what you doing?
So I have a talent called Reckless.
Yes, you do.
What does that? What does that do?
Let me just flip over here to this little talent.
I apologize.
Screen here real quick. No. Do not
bullshit.
apologize whatsoever. It's real quick. It's right here. All right. Okay, cool. Excellent. Reckless. You live for the rush of adrenaline through your veins, pushing harder than others dare. You can push any skill roll based on agility twice, not just once like the other characters. Each push increases your skill level by 1, or your stress level by 1.
Okay.
So anything based by agility, if you didn't get what you wanted from the first time, you could push it again.
Okay, that's fine, because that's not really affecting my ranged combat and agility currently. So, because that's pretty high already. So, okay. Well, I'm gonna, you know what? I fucking flick down my Ray-Bans and I'm gonna get one good last shot on this motherfucker before I back out.
Go ahead and roll range combat with agility, please.
All right, cool. You got it. Let me roll that stress die, which is down. Boom. Ooh, no ones, but I got a 6, and then I'll roll the rest of.
Excellent.
These. Okay, so just 1 6 though.
1 6. Okay.
Yep.
You go ahead, pop off. You do shotgun damage to it, and it goes ahead. It hits it. It's looking mighty peeved, like it's just getting peppered. You guys are doing effective against it, for whatever it is. And what else are you doing? You got 2 fast actions and a movement.
I'm gonna fucking Constantinos just fucking.
He's in that loader and he's headed towards that whatever it is.
I don't want to like, and everybody else ran the fuck out basically.
Everybody's
right?
getting the fuck out. The only person that's left behind is you and poor Dr. Asloff on the ground and Josie.
Oh shit, Asloff! Fuck, that's my boy. It's my other guy. All right, I'm gonna grab Asloff and I'm gonna start fucking booking it towards him.
Okay,
yeah, dragging
cool.
him towards medbay.
Okay, everybody's rushing out. Hey, Tomas. I'm going to go ahead and do your move after Josie's here, just for some narrative effect here real quick. Josie, what are you doing? You're starting to look like the last one in as Wu is backing up, and Phelps is telling everybody to get the fuck out, and looks like she's about to close the door. And Constantinos is making a move for this thing in the loader.
How close is he with that loader? Did he just get in it and he's moving it?
He's moving it, so on his next turn, he's going to be right up in her face. Or she's going to be right up in his face, either way.
So I kind of glance over there and decide that there's nothing I can do about this, and then run and assist with carrying Yuri out of the room.
Cool.
Towards the med bay.
All right. And are you using your slow action for anything?
Maybe just helping carry. I don't know if that's really
cool.
even a slow action.
That'll effectively, we'll just say that's effectively like the two of you like carrying this guy to the med bay. You guys are carrying the med bay. So.
And I kind of want to take one glance back through the door to watch this loader thing before it shuts and we move out. As
you guys are running out and you hear Phelps saying, go, 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 book it, book it, book it, you see the doors start to slowly close and they're making a hissing noise. And the last thing you see is Constantinos yelling out, "Come on, you big bitch, show me what you got!" And the alien thing turned towards him and start moving towards him as well. The doors close. Tomas, you get to the room with Mother in it.
Good.
What are you doing?
Corporate override.
Oh, okay. So you're getting in contact and trying to do an override?
Yeah, I'm trying to get as control of much of the ship as I can, and everybody's gonna get locked out but me.
Go ahead and make a Comtech roll with wits.
Okay. And to clarify, because I was clear, I didn't get the stress dice reduce from Phelps's
That is
ability,
correct.
right?
That is
Okay.
correct.
Okay. That's a 6 and a 1.
6 and a 1. Okay. You're frantically going over your typing, and you get into the system, and you start locking down doors, especially the mother door.
Yes.
That hatch closes, it locks. As you are typing in and everything, you see that there are commands typing on the computer that you're not inputting. And you kind of move your hands away, and you see things still typing, and then you see on the screen, scroll out, Agent Rasmussen, ... Report? Question mark?
Fuck. I'm trying to. I can still do corporate speak.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna purr your last email?
Situation red. Crew compromised. Package is compromised. Requesting additional instruction.
It just repeats what you type out to it. Crew compromised. Package compromised. Have you seen it? Question mark. Y/N.
Yes.
A moment passes. Another moment passes. And you just see 4 letters and a period. GOOD period. And then the screen goes black. And that's where we're going to call our scenario for this evening. Thank you guys so much for playing with me. We're cutting it a little bit short. Things got a little bit crazy there. I'll just have you guys know, I already told them, that is not how I expected things to go. That is not how I had it planned. I didn't know anybody was going to open the crate, and they did, and I'm so glad they did. And I'm so glad that you were here to watch along with us. Guys, I just want to let you know, it's been an honor playing with you. You guys did great. It was so fun.
you.
Did you guys have fun?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Cool, great.
My
great.
only regret is I didn't get to track down Rasmussen and shoot him.
Maybe next time. Maybe next time. This is an open invitation right now. If you guys ever get the bug and you want to play again, just let me know.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got nothing better going on. So yeah. So also to you guys out there, thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much for all those that are donating to the COVID-19 Response Fund. It means a world of difference what you guys are doing. I want to say thank you to Gehenna Gaming for allowing this opportunity and for putting on this excellent weekend. Go send them so much love. Send people their way. If you didn't get to catch any of the panels, because you're watching this, go watch. The VODs are free. The video on demand is free on their Twitch. Check the other games on YouTube. Those are free as well. Everything's free. People are playing games. Go check out the vendors. Go check out the Artist Alley. There's so many great, talented people here. Go out and play games. Go and pick up Free League's Alien RPG. It is so great. It's a fun system. If they ever watch this, thank you for letting me brutalize your beautiful book here real quick. I am Brother Wesley with Carrion Comfort Studios. Sound off one more time, guys. Who you are and where people can find you.
Anybody want to go? I'll go. All right. So my name's Mike Hollywood Tomasek. Again, I'm a freelance writer and developer. I've been working on Onyx Path and working for Posthuman Studios. Go check out Eclipse Phase, because that's an awesome thing that's kind of in this wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Go check out Onyx Path on Drive-Thru RPG. They just dropped Chicago Folios, which I was able to be a part of. And then please, thank you for giving to this donation. I have a family member who's got COVID-19. So thank you for helping, and I really appreciate this. And thanks for running a great game, all of y'all gentlemen. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Who's next?
I'll go. Thanks, guys. I'm Andrew again. It was a ton of fun to play. I really, really appreciate you guys playing with me. And yeah, I got nothing to plug, but thanks a lot for playing.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you, Andrew.
Yeah, so this is Josh. Again, I don't really have much to plug either at this rate, but yeah, thank you guys for joining in on this. Thanks for running this. This was a good time.
It's a pleasure, man. Anytime.
Yeah, Chase here again. Really appreciate everybody being a good sport. I don't get typically to play a villain, so
You played a great one.
Played an excellent villain.
I appreciate that. But yeah, definitely encourage everybody to keep donating, and we'll beat this thing together, everybody. So
Excellent. Thank you guys once again. Like I said, I'm Brother Wes with Carrion Comfort Studios. You can find me at twitch.tv/Carrion Comfort Studios at 8 p.m. Central every Saturday and Wednesday. We're doing some fun stuff, diving in deep and stuff. Thank you so much to Gehenna Gaming again. Be sure to donate, and thank you guys so much. And I have a little thing that I say at the end of my streams. Don't forget, I love you. You're wonderful. Things are scary. You're doing great. No matter what you're doing great. We're here with you. And don't forget, comfort comes soon. Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers.